Who's ready for some college football? Welcome to the All-State Saturday Kickoff. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Today, we are live in Dallas, Texas. It's the return of Sonny Dykes. This offseason, it was a very public, ugly breakup from SMU. He's at TCU now, new head coach. Leading in the Mustangs is Rhett Lashley, a first-year head coach. This is the 101st Battle for the Iron Skillet, a rivalry game separated by 45 minutes. TCU coming out of the Big 12 at 2-0, taking on SMU at 2-1 out of the American. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside my running back. He's Rini Angolia. I'm John Trippin. Well, it's clear both schools do not like each other, and add a little flame to the fire. Sonny Dykes coming back to SMU for the first time.
Yeah, the emotions are real. We met with folks from SMU and TCU yesterday. No love lost here. You know, Sonny Dykes, the last 3 years as SMU's head coach, 3 consecutive winning seasons, 25-10, but then you up and leave and you go to the crosstown rival, and yeah, the emotions are really high. It just adds to this rivalry.
For SMU, they have a high-powered offense. They are led by their star wide receiver, Rashee Rice. Man, he went off at Maryland last week.
Leading the nation in receptions and receiving yards. He's very physical. We met with him yesterday. Very hard to reroute Rashee Rice off his route running. He's that strong, he's physical, and he's very athletic. He can make catches, go up, win that 50-50 ball. 58 targets already by Tanner Mordecai to Rashee Rice.
This is the 101st Battle for the Iron Skillet. If you look at the series history, it is led by the TCU Horned Frogs. But SMU, they have won the last 2 battles between these 2 schools. That was when Sonny Dykes was at the helm. SMU looking for 3 in a row. TCU looking to take back control of this rivalry game. We are expecting a sellout. It is absolute capacity, but we know here at SMU it's a slow arriving crowd. So they are still making their way into the stadium. There is plenty of purple on hand. The TCU fans, campus is separated by 45 minutes. They made the trip here as well. Kicking off for SMU, and we are underway here in Dallas, Texas. TCU will take it out of their own end zone. Across the 20, Darius Davis is eventually brought down. A 26-yard return, and the Horned Frogs will come out on offense for the first time, led by Max Duggan.
And you know, Max Duggan, very experienced quarterback. I believe this is 31st start. Of course, Chandler Morris won the job in preseason camp, tweaked his knee in game 1 against Colorado, but boy, what a luxury to have Max Duggan right there to step in. And again, the battle for the starting job was really close. He's got good athleticism, does Duggan, can run the ball, so you got to watch him pulling it on the zone reads. Got a strong arm as well, but again, very experienced.
TCU will come out in a 4 wide receiver set with Kendre Miller. He's their guy in the backfield. They're going to rely on him to run the ball today with Max Duggan at quarterback. On first down, they yes, Miller with some space to the left side across the 50, eventually pushed out of bounds in SMU territory. Kendre Miller said he hasn't had a lot of touches because we haven't had a lot of snaps. 35 yards.
And Kendre Miller's the back that TCU wants to get going. He's the every down back. He can do it all, 6 foot 220. That's just inside zone read. Again, you have to respect Duggan pulling at that time, just a straight handoff to Miller. Good blocking up front, and what a start to the game for TCU.
Tay Barber is the man in motion. They set him up on the screen. A short gain on first down, a gain of 1, stopped by Brian Massey.
And Brandon Crosley, the nickelback for SMU, was in good position, but good blocking on the perimeter and holds him to a yard.
It's a good sign for SMU because we were told Massey coming into the game was not 100%, but makes that first tackle on defense there. 2nd and 9. SMU showing blitz. Handoff is to Miller. Bounces to the outside. His quarterback, Duggan, giving him a block. Across the 25, brought down inside the 20. Kendre Miller, a gain of 19.
Yeah, Mr. Miller showed up to play today. Good job up front initially by SMU defensively, nowhere to go. And then you look at the little spin by Miller. Great balance outside, picks up the block from his quarterback, Max Duggan, and another big run for Kendre Miller.
So Miller gets a breather. Trent Battle will come in at running back. Miller, 2 rushes, 54 yards on this opening drive for TCU. No, excuse me, that's Miller still in there. And that handoff, a no gain on first down.
You know, I like to ask coaches in our meetings, what's your point of emphasis? Not necessarily key to the game, but something you emphasize. Garrett Riley, offensive coordinator for TCU. My first bullet point, run the ball. They want to get more consistent running the ball, and they started off nice with Kendre Miller. I mean, you look at his numbers on the season, 108. Already over 50 yards today.
Now, the reason why he hasn't had many touches, they played Tarleton last week, so he got taken out of the game early because it got into a blowout at Colorado. They won that game easily. So they want to get him going early. Here's Duggan, pressured, rolling out to his right, throwing, end zone, got it! Touchdown, Savion Williams, and TCU strikes first. A 19-yard touchdown pass, Horned Frogs on the board.
And that's what Max Duggan can do. Extend the play with his feet, but keep that head down, scan the field, and this is a beautiful throw to Savion Williams right over the defender. Outstretched arms of Armani Johnson, and just like that, TCU strikes first.
Griffin Kell is on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up and good. A 5-play, 74-yard drive, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. TCU not messing around.
Out of the blocks fast. Exactly what the coaches wanted, especially Sonny Dykes. Duggan to his receiver. Williams for the touchdown.
Welcome back to SMU. John Schriffen alongside Reedy and Golia. TCU on the board first, a 7-0 lead. SMU looking to get their first touch of the football as Griffin Kell set to boot things away.
And Max Duggan looked good in that opening possession for TCU. Oh, by the way, leading the nation in completion percentage at over 78%.
Leading out the Mustangs for their opening drive will be quarterback Tanner Mordecai.
Captain of the team, can make all the throws. You know, and all you need to know about Tanner Mordecai, a couple of years when he transferred here from Oklahoma, he was only on campus about 4 weeks, was elected team captain by his teammates. So he brings that type of leadership. We had a good conversation with him yesterday. He's all business. He's ready for this game.
This guy is an intense competitor. Yeah. That's what everybody says about him, and he makes sure everybody brings it every single day in practice. Velton Gardner is the running back that starts in the backfield with Mordecai. Mustangs will start on their own 25. Mordecai, empty backfield, looking to throw, middle of the field, wide open, completes to his receiver. That's Rashee Rice. Had a career day against Maryland. That's a gain of 16. They're going to find him all day.
Yeah, I mean, target 59, and he just finds a soft spot in that zone. So this is the chess match now because this is a Joe Gillespie-led defense. It's that 3-3-5. It's supposed to be really good against the pass. We'll see today.
Gardner goes nowhere in the backfield. That's Josh Newton, tackles him for a loss of 4.
Josh Newton's a corner. Transfer from University of Louisiana Monroe has really stepped up, been a very pleasant surprise. Come up and run support there and make a tackle. You love to see your corners do that. 2nd and 14, Mordecai dumps off to Gardner. Gardner can't get anything going on the screen. We'll get to the 36. That's a loss of 1, so 2 negative plays in a row. Yeah, and you saw Terrell Cooper, 95, the defensive end, 6-year player, how quick he is from his defensive end spot to break that up. And just like that, 3rd and 15, not a down and distance you want to be in if you're Rhett Lashley and SMU. First 3rd down we have seen today, empty backfield for Tanner Mordecai. He's got 5 receivers. Mordecai out of the shotgun, delayed blitz from TCU, taking a shot downfield, incomplete, was looking for Austin Upshaw, but he was double covered. Yeah, and they're gonna let him play. A little contact on that sideline, but good coverage by 24 Josh Newton. He was in good position. The receiver tried to get through him, It's an excellent defensive series there by TCU.
Also had that safety help by Millard Bradfield. That's exactly what TCU wants. Force you in 3rd and long, and they're going to sit back and cover you all day long.
Yeah, and they play with what's called a light box. It looks like you can run the ball against it, but SMU comes out and doesn't even try to run against it that first possession.
Ryan Buchevsky kicks this one away. Darius Davis will let it bounce in front of him. Ball is stopped, and it goes into the end zone. TCU scores on their first drive of the game. Offense coming back on the field, up 7-0.
Of the run game, 3 yards on first down. Yeah, get the ball in the hands of your best players. It's not rocket science.
Spread set for TCU with Miller in the backfield. Duggan takes off with his feet. Has some space across the 35. Delivers the blow and keeps pushing the feet. Brian Massey looks like he just ran him over. A gain of 13 for Duggan.
Yeah, advantage Max Duggan on that one. You know, when you're 6'2", 210, 215, you can do this. Get low behind your pads. Good job, quarterback takes on free safety. Advantage quarterback on that one.
See, what happened was...
That's that one in film session. You're like, quarterback got me, but good speed, gets outside of the pocket, and you have to protect against that because Max Duggan can hurt you with his feet.
What a luxury for TCU to have Max Duggan as the backup coming into the year. He takes over this offense with Chandler Morris getting hurt, and the offense doesn't skip a beat. 1st and 10 from the 41. Duggan pressured, still alive, but now he goes down. Nelson Paul with the sack for SMU.
And Nelson Paul plays the bandit position. He stands up the bottom part of the screen on the left side. He's a rush defensive end. Gets up and under the offensive lineman, Andrew Coker, for the sack. That's a nice play by Nelson Paul. Very athletic from that bandit position because he'll drop in linebacker play as well, but that time rush end gets the sack.
A loss of 8 brings up 2nd and 18 for the Horned Frogs. Miller to the left of Duggan. With time this time, looking to throw. Pocket closes quickly, and they get him again. Elijah Chapman, he's the star of this defensive front. A loss of 9.
Well, the defensive ends again. Good rush, forced Max Duggan to step up in the pocket, and the team leader and captain, number 40, Elijah Chapman, from that nose guard position, finishes him off with the sack.
Nelson Paul was also in there, so it looks like they'll give each of them a half of a sack on that play.
Devere Levelston as well.
3rd and a mile from the 19. For the first time, we see Amari DiMercato in the backfield for TCU. They've got a stable of 5 running backs who are all capable of running the ball. Quick pass to the outside to Tate Barber. SMU will give them the underneath. He'll be short of the first down across the 30.
Yeah, it's exactly how you want to play. Defensive coordinator Scott Simons dropped a lot back in coverage. Give him the underneath reception. Just come up and make the tackle when it's 3rd and long. Excellent defensive stand by SMU.
So Jordan Sandy is on to punt. And this young man has a great story. For every punt inside the 20-yard line this year, he is donating $20 to the Fort Worth's Hope Center for Autism. That's because he has a cousin back home in Australia with autism. I saw before the game, congratulate him for that. A great cause he is donating to. Punt checks up inside the 30, takes an SMU bounce to the 31 where it is down. SMU offense coming back on the field with the Horned Frogs, a 7-0 lead here in the first quarter. Tonight, our Saturday Night Football game presented by Capital One is a Big Ten battle at the Shoe in Columbus. C.J. Stroud and the 3rd-ranked Buckeyes host Wisconsin with both teams starting conference play. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit have the call at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. It all goes down on ABC. You can also catch this game on the ESPN app. How about the Ohio State offense?
How about 26, almost 27 first downs a game? That is crazy. That is a very electric offense.
Trey Siggers with the carry, an explosive burst over the middle, a gain of 12, first down, stopped by Mark Perry.
Siggers is their number 1 back. Good inside zone here, good blocking. Nice vision by Siggers. Just bend it back to the right side a little bit. Nice first down.
They go back to Siggers, this time over the left side. That hole closes up quickly. No gain. That was Dylan Horton with the tackle.
So I talked earlier about TCU's defense, what they call it a light box. It just means like there's not a lot of quarterbacks within linebackers within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. It's more to defend the pass. So it looks like you can run really easy, but those linebackers know they got a lot of DBs behind them, so they flow very quickly to the run.
Mordecai throwing on second down. Austin Upshaw. Excuse me, no, that's R.J. Maryland with the catch, the tight end.
Yeah, it's the young tight end. Had a big touchdown last week against Maryland. 6'4", 220-ish. He's that guy that can run, and he's going to put on more size as he matures.
So SMU finding themselves in third down again. Four wide receivers from their own 41. Mordecai out of the shotgun, throwing over the middle, complete. He's found his tight end, Maryland, again for a first down, a gain of 14.
And that's what you can do right there. Rhett Lashley, the head coach, also calls plays. That's 10 personnel because R.J. Maryland is essentially a wide receiver. So 10 personnel, four wide receivers, 1 running back, and Maryland finds the open spot in the middle. First down.
Handoff is to Siggers, pushing the pile. Looks like a gain of 2 on first down. You notice something different out of the offense their second drive. They're going a lot faster.
Tempo was up, and I think it was a more concerted effort to get something going on the ground as well, because you have to be balanced against this defense.
Under 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Back to the ground. Siggers runs into a wall at the 35. They're going to say they stopped him at the 36, a gain of 2.
But it's a good run. You're picking up some yards. Casey Woods, offensive coordinator, told us we have to be okay with ordinary plays. Now, you wish you would have picked up a little bit more on second down, but 6 yards here on third down, it's a manageable distance, and you're going to go for it here anyway. You have 2 downs here to pick up this first down, I believe, if you're Rhett Lashley.
3rd and 6 from the 36. Mordecai throwing the out route, a lot of contact, and here comes the penalty flag. Travius Hodges-Tomlinson was the guy in coverage. This will be the first penalty of the game for either team.
Big 12 crew. Been a clean game early on.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 1, defense. It's a 10-yard penalty, results in automatic first down.
As you said, Travius Hodges-Tomlin's going to get called with the hold beforehand coming out of the break. And of course, it's on Rashee Rice, because if the guy doesn't catch the ball, he's usually getting interfered with. That's the guy you want to target. It's a good call, a little hold before the break.
So new set of downs for the Mustangs. Mordecai looking left and will throw that one away on first down.
Take a look at Rhett Lashley, first-year head coach. Of course, was offensive coordinator the last couple seasons at the University of Miami. He was here at SMU from 18 to 19. And in 19, his last year here as offensive coordinator, 10 wins by SMU and a top 15 ranking. So a perfect situation for Rhett Lashley to come back and become the head coach here.
Trey Siggers, the man in the backfield. They're going to throw a screen. This is to Rashee Rice. Bounces off a tackler, spinning across the 25. That is a tough gain of just 1.
Yeah, I mean, again, get the ball in his hands. He's going to get a break. You see the captain coming off there. But tell you what, Josh Newton, 24 for TCU. He's playing very physical from that corner position. Comes up, doesn't make that tackle, but he slows the play down. A very physical bunch in the secondary for TCU.
Once again, for SMU, they find themselves in 3rd and long from the 25. Mordecai looking right, throws across the field. Dangerous pass, it's picked off. Abe Kamara with the interception for TCU.
And that's just such a long pass for Tanner Mordecai. He's at the far hash, watch this throw all the way across the field. And if you're a safety like Abe Kamara, you're sitting there, your eyes light up like saucers. You're like, I can undercut this and intercept it, because that ball has to stay in the air so long because it's so far across the field, even with the arm strength of Tanner Mordecai. Just a beautiful play by Abe Kamara.
Defensive coordinator Joe Gillespie for TCU does a great job of challenging his corners. Even though they drop back so many guys in coverage, he said, I want you to jump those routes, and that's exactly what happened
and
there.
If you can force a quarterback to make an out throw across the field from the far hash, you will take that all day long, because it has to be a perfect pass, or else you can undercut it, knock it away, or intercept it, like Abe Kamara did right there.
So the Horned Frogs come back on the field on offense. Amari DiMarcado in the backfield. Setting up the screen pass. Gunnar Henderson is dropped immediately. A gain of 2. Tackled by Brian Massey.
And there's Massey again. He's the leader in that secondary. Good speed, physical from his free safety position. You have to be able to tackle, and he did right there. Now a little up-tempo here for Garrett Riley and TCU.
3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen for Duggan. Rolling out to his right. Throwing has Gunnar Henderson wide open. Fired up for another first down.
So Scott Simons calls up a blitz. It's Isaac Slayton. Batatia there. Looks like he's going to get to Duggan, but that footwork, he slides out, avoids the sack, and completes the pass.
Duggan with the toss to DiMarcado. Follows his blockers. Brought down just shy of the 40, a gain of 3.
You know, we asked offensive coordinator Garrett Riley specifically about tempo and pace, and he said he is going to change it up. He dictates it. He'll let Duggan know what they want to do. He said they might huddle up some today as well, slow it way down, but going a little quicker those last few plays. And again, we were on the field before the game. Easily 100 degrees on that field turf down there, no doubt about it. It's a hot one.
It is a hot day here in Dallas. But as expected, the Texas heat is not going to bother these 2 rivals. Quick pass, Trent Battle using his blockers upfield across the 45. Another first down for the Horned Frogs. Nick Roberts was there on the tackle. Gain of 19.
Jacorius Spivey, though, number 12 on the outside. What blocking, right? You love it when your fellow wide receivers block for you, especially on those quick wide receiver screens, those bubble screens. Good job by Spivey there, blocking for his teammate.
You talked earlier about this being the biggest test so far for this TCU offense. How they look so far?
Oh, they look really good. So far, they get an A, maybe even an A+. We'll see what they do on this series.
Duggan looking to throw again with plenty of time. Looking deep down the sideline. Penalty flag is down, waiting for the call. It was Jahari Rogers in coverage. Threw it up to Quentin Johnston.
And the flag came in from the back judge, so we'll see if he saw a little tug. And if TCU is going to get an interference call here, we'll see, because that is what he saw and that is what he called as they talk it over right here.
When you got a guy like 6'4" Quentin Johnston, you can just throw it up.
And definitely a little contact there, and the big man goes up, he makes the catch. He's clearly out of bounds, but look at him go high point that thing, can't get a foot in.
There's no foul on the play.
And so, you know, I like that they talked to each other and talked about it, because as you see there, yes, the defender, Jahari Rogers, it doesn't really look back, but he didn't make too much contact, so they're letting him play. This Big 12 crew is going to let him play, so I like that they talked about it and waved it off. I don't have a problem with that. That's good officiating.
That was the first incomplete pass for Max Duggan on the day. Brings up 2nd and 10, 2:36 to play here in this first quarter. Miller gets the carry, makes one cut and goes. He's stopped right at the 40 by Nelson Paul, a gain of 2.
And so now the interesting thing, the center for TCU, number 56, Alan Ali, he's the only SMU player that transferred and went with Sonny Dykes to TCU. He's from Fort Worth, started for 4 years here at SMU, so and he knows Elijah Chapman, number 40, the nose guard, who he's going up to quite well. They had a lot of battles in practice.
This is the first 3rd down of the drive for the Horned Frogs. 3rd and 8 from the 40. DiMarcado in the backfield with Duggan. Duggan looking to throw, has time over the middle, completes to another receiver. This time it's Tay Barber at the 30, a gain of 10, another first down.
And Tay Barber, an experienced receiver, runs that dig route deep enough for him. When he comes back for the ball, he's past the first down line to gain, and Duggan shows you his arm strength as he puts it on him.
Toss. This is this is Barber on the toss. A gain of 3.
Yeah, throw it to Barber, then toss it to him. A little bit of a jet sweep action as TCU went fast tempo. But they have a nice balance early on in this game between run and pass.
That's what Garrett Riley said. He said, in an ideal world, we'd like to be split evenly, but we do want to establish the run early.
Yeah, and Garrett Riley, a little hint of air raid in his offensive callings. Of course, younger brother of Lincoln Riley.
2nd and 7. Back to the ground with Miller. Finds space over the middle. Still on his feet. Miller, end zone, touchdown, TCU. A 28-yard touchdown run. Kendre Miller looking like that dude today.
Yeah, he's ready to roll today, and good job up front by the offensive line of TCU. Excellent blocking at the point of attack, and then Kendre Miller, 220-pound back that has twitch, good speed, good acceleration as he finds his way to the end zone.
Griffin Kell on to attempt the extra point for the Horned Frogs. Kick is up and good. How about all the purple in the house? TCU fans have traveled well. They got a 14-0 lead over SMU.
Yeah, they're pretty happy they made the 45-minute drive now. Good job. Good blocking at the point of attack, and he's break the tackles, low center of gravity. Kendre Miller, go get yourself one, young man. Horned Frogs lead it.
A 9-play, 81-yard drive spanned 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Miller so far on the ground today, 5 carries, 84 yards. He's averaging almost 17 yards a carry to go along with his touchdown.
Yeah, pretty efficient. And now, it kind of puts SMU in a bind, right? So now, okay, we're going to load the box a little bit. We're going to try to take him out of it. It's going to open up some windows in the secondary for Max Duggan and his wide receiver. So a perfect start if you're TCU.
And they're doing it in big chunks. They've run 19 plays. 9 of those plays have come for 10 or more yards.
Pretty good company there for Kendre Miller. Yards per rush, not bad. I take it.
So Luke Lamanek is on to boot things away for TCU. First kick is short. Fair catch called for by SMU's Gage Haskin. So SMU comes back on offense, down by 2 touchdowns. What do you got to do here?
This is an important drive for SMU. Listen, they moved the ball last time, just couldn't get anything out of it. So I think they got to run the ball. They did a nice job with that last possession. Have a good mixture. And then those intermediate passes, I think you can, those quick outs over the middle. I think the zone defense of TCU is soft in those intermediate areas. Last time Tanner Mordecai just tried to make that cross-field pass, and Abe Kamara made a great play undercutting it. So they just need to do what they did last time out, just finish it off with some points here.
SMU has found themselves in a ton of 3rd and longs. Let's see what they can do on these early snaps here on 1st down from the 25. Mordecai with protection, strong throw, completes it to Rashee Rice, just short of the marker, a gain of 9.
Yeah, and those are those soft spots, right, intermediately that I just talked about. 9-yard, Rashee Rice comes back for it because they're a zone. Coach Gillespie said, we're kind of man, but they're softer there.
Delton Gardner will pick up the 1st down, a gain of 4. Back to Rashee Rice. Yeah. Everybody knows he's the go-to guy, especially defensive coordinator Joe Gillespie. How good you have to be when they know you're the guy and you're still getting open.
And so if you don't go cover 0 man-to-man and you put someone in his hip pocket, he's good enough where he's going to find that soft spot, and you have to close on him quickly.
Should be the last play here of this first quarter. Mordecai to the ground. Siggers with a short gain across the 40, and that'll do it for the first quarter here in Dallas. TCU looking for a strong start. They did just that. A 14-0 lead in the return of Sonny Dykes. Facing his old school for the first time here in Dallas. It's been all TCU to start this one. We'll be back. SMU, before today, had only allowed 3 points in the first quarter all season. They've given up 14 already to TCU. As we welcome you back here to Gerald J. Ford Stadium. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Rini Angolia. It was all TCU in that first.
Yeah, and Rhett Lashley told us yesterday, he tried to impress upon his players, play passionate, but not emotional. Because if you play emotional, he said, you drain your energy, you'll make mistakes, play passionate. So we'll see if they can get together here. They need to score here.
2nd and 6 from their own 41. Velton Gardner is the man in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Mordecai keeps it. Gets across the 45 and will get out of bounds. D. Winters was the first man there to force him out.
That was an RPO run-pass option there. Good coverage on the back end by TCU, but good decision by Tanner Mordecai to pick up what he could with his feet. Gets it to 3rd and 2.
Now with 3rd and 2, plenty of options. Where does SMU do here?
I like zone run because I think they had some success. And against this box, 2 yards, you got to be able to pick it up on the ground. Now with that said, he'll probably pass it, but that's what I would do.
Ben Redding, the big tight end, will shift to the right. Velton Gardner will shift to the left of Mordecai. Mordecai keeps it and will squirt over that left side hole for a first down, a gain of 3.
So I'll take it just as good. So they go inside zone, read. Mordecai puts it in the belly, reads the defensive player, Terrell Cooper there, who crashed down. Good read by Mordecai, take it to the outside and pick up the first down.
Mordecai with a quick snap. Strong throw to the outside. Plenty of jersey tugging on the throw. Intended for Rashee Rice. That's Travius Hodges Tomlinson again in coverage.
Well, and you see what happens. I mean, that's a back shoulder throw. The synergy between Tanner Mordecai and Rashee Rice is unbelievable, and you cannot defend that.
Pass interference, number 1, defense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
If that ball is thrown correctly, you cannot defend that. So Hodges Tomlinson, all he can do is grab Rashee Rice as he turns back to catch that back shoulder, and you're either going to get a reception or a penalty.
You can just see there how physical Rashee Rice is. They say he doesn't have blazing speed, but his physicality is what makes him an NFL receiver.
It's hard to reroute him, and that's what DBs want to do. Get him off his stem, reroute him. He's very physical. You can't do it.
First down. Tosses to Moochie Dixon, and he is pushed out of bounds. They're going to spot him inside the 30, a gain of 8.
And Moochie's their speedster, and you look at it, it kind of looks like an innocuous play, but he turns the corner and you look up, and like you said, 8 yards. So great job on first down, and that's a player, Moochie Dixon, that this SMU staff wants to get going for sure.
So Dylan Horton is the man who's going to trot off on his own power for TCU. We're going to step aside. 2nd and 2 coming up when we come back. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate would make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. How about this scene on hand here at Gerald J. Ford Stadium? A sold-out stadium for the first time since 2015. That grassy area in the end zone, they can fit about 4,000 to 5,000 fans there. I mean, they're still making their way into the stadium.
There's still some people having some ice-cold adult beverages outside. There's no doubt about it on this very hot day.
Kamar Wheaton in the backfield. Fake the handoff, throwing to the right, looking for Rice out of bounds. Another penalty flag. Travius Hodges Tomlinson. This could be his 3rd penalty called on him.
Yeah, he just kind of grabs Rashee Rice once again on the break. Now they're going to talk about it. Now the back judge is coming over to talk to him about it, but I thought it was a good call from first glimpse. As the back judge talks to the side judge, who talks to the headline judge. We'll see if they wave this one off or if it stays, because it definitely looked like he was grabbed. We'll see here.
Pass interference, number 1, defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Yeah, and I thought it was the right call. Bottom part of the screen, you see the grab, and you see that jersey grab in the left hand of Hodges Tomlinson. Grab Rashee Rice. I mean, that's an easy call and the right call.
That's 3 penalties already.
Yeah, I guess they have their target where they want to go, huh?
At what point do you make the switch on defense? Trey Siggers in the backfield. Rice is the man in motion. Rice's one-on-one coverage against Hodges Tomlinson. They hand it off to Siggers. Siggers will get to the 10-yard line. Gain of 3.
And that's where, Coach Casey Woods talks about be okay with an ordinary play. First down, 4 yards, that is fine. Keeps you ahead of the chain. 2nd and 6 is where you want to be. Inside the red zone. You just got to finish this thing off if you're SMU, preferably with a touchdown.
Rasheed Rice to the bottom of your screen. Handoff is to Siggers. Tripped up immediately at the line of scrimmage. A gain of 3. Shadrick Banks on the tackle.
And it was a nice job by Banks, young middle linebacker, to scrape inside, make that play. Very athletic is Banks.
10th play of the drive coming up for SMU. It'll be 3rd and 4. Mordecai looking to throw, has Rice. The catch is made, and he does have a first down. Mark Perry there on the tackle.
Yeah, quick inside slant. Mordecai puts it on, and Rice is right at the first down marker, makes the catch even though they make the tackle. And it's 1st and goal.
Rasheed Rice in one-on-one coverage, the bottom of your screen. Mordecai gives it to Siggers. That hole closes quickly. Stopped at the 2.
And now, we talked about that 3-3-5 defense of TCU, but when you're at the goal line, it's compressed, right? So now all that secondary moves up, it pushes the linebackers up. Very athletic defensive front. They fly to the football.
Tyler Levine and Velton Gardner in the backfield. They throw it, and they had Levine, but Mordecai overthrew him.
Now, the play call was perfect there, right? Roll out Mordecai, you slide the big running back Tyler Levine into the flat from the fullback spot. No one covers him for TCU, and it's just pitch and catch, man. You guys, you got to make that play, right?
Did that go off his hands?
Yeah, it was a little high for sure, but that's a play that you would like to see Tyler Levine be able to go up and make that catch. Same formation here.
3rd and goal. They pound it with Gardner, and he does not get in. 4th down. Abe Kamara was there with D. Winters.
Yeah, go I formation again. This time Levine blocks. Yeah, and I don't think this is any hesitation here by Rhett Lashley. He's going to go for it here. He knows he needs to score touchdowns in this game.
Early in this game, you like this call?
I do. He's an aggressive play caller, and in a game like this, rivalry game, you're down 14-0 already. Yes, go for it. Love the call. Love the call.
On 4th down this year, SMU is 2 of 5. Handoff is to Siggers. Got in there. Touchdown, SMU.
A much-needed answer for SMU. Watch how low Siggers gets here. Right here. Get low. Get under those pads. Get low and get that ball across the goal line. Love the effort from Trey Siggers.
Colin Rogers, their stellar kicker, on to attempt the extra point for SMU. And he got it. SMU, their first touchdown of the game. It's a 7-point lead for the Horned Frogs.
And this crowd needed something to cheer for. Great drive by SMU, finished off by Trey Siggers. 14-7, TCU still leads it.
Welcome back to Dallas. TCU with a 14-7 lead over SMU. Now let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Verbo. Georgia, they are in a battle right now with Kent State. They're up 12-10. How about that matchup?
You just don't walk in and beat a MAC school like Kent State. No, listen, we do a lot of MAC games. Those programs are very good. They play hard, and they're up for that one. How about that Arkansas-Texas A&M game tonight? Just down the road from where we are right now. A lot of fans, a lot of Arkansas fans at our hotel today.
How about this game, man? Well,
this is it right now.
One. SMU with their longest scoring drive of the season in terms of plays. 13 plays, 75 yards to get back into this ball game. A 14-7 lead for TCU.
And that was the answer they need. That offensive confidence, no doubt about it.
Darius Davis will field from his own end zone. taking it out, looking to find some blockers, gets over that left edge across the 25, now across the 40, still on his feet. Oh, tripped up at the 45. Darius Davis, what a return.
And you just don't see a lot of returns anymore, right? You're seeing the fair catch, especially balls deep in the end zone. But Davis takes it right out. Great speed, good blocking. Now he's on the right side of the field, and this is gonna be a return left. So watch him bend it back to the left, catch a block, and gets to the outside. Excellent return, tremendous field position for TCU.
A 57-yard kickoff return, the longest of the season for TCU.
And that stings, right? If you're SMU on special teams, to give up a play like that after getting some momentum back after your touchdown.
Kendre Miller starts in the backfield with Max Duggan. Miller gets the handoff, finds his blockers, a collision at the 41, a gain of 2. So when it seemed like SMU had got the momentum for the first time, TCU off that huge kick return takes it right back.
Yeah, and so now the defense kind of backs to the wall here, but a good job there on first down. See what they can do.
Amani Bailey now in the backfield to the left of Duggan. Duggan looking to throw, pocket collapsing, he will take off, plenty of room up the middle, sliding down inside the 30. Duggan a huge run, Jimmy Phillips credited with the stop, but Duggan got a gain of 11.
And that's the problem, the SMU rush forces Duggan out of the pocket, backs were turned, a lot of man coverage in the back end. Duggan sees that, immediately runs, picks up the first down easily and gets down.
Now they mark him where he starts his slide, not where he ends up, so that's why he's marked at the 30.
But he was smart enough to make sure he did it when he got past the first down marker, which he did.
Shift on the defensive line for SMU. Showing blitz, they bring the pressure, picked up nicely by the offensive line. Plenty of time, Duggan over the middle, completes it inside the 10 to Jacorius Spivey. A gain of 22.
And a good ball.
Excuse me, Savion Williams on the catch.
Yeah, good ball by Duggan. As Spivey comes across the middle, Duggan puts it right on him. First and goal for TCU.
How about that offensive line with that time, picking up that blitz?
Excellent protection. This is a TCU team, folks. Last year, last in the Big 12 in red zone touchdowns, only 56%. A lot better this year, especially today.
First and goal from the 8. Henderson in motion, looking to throw. Complete. Touchdown, Jared Wiley, the tight end. An 8-yard touchdown pass for TCU.
Yeah, just an exceptional play call by Garrett Riley. Good play fake. You get the motion right. It gets the eyes of the defenders going left. You come back, throw it underneath to the right of the defense to Jared Wiley, your tight end, in for the score.
How explosive is this TCU offense?
And taking advantage of the excellent kickoff return, right? The good field position. It's exactly what you want to do.
Griffin Kell on to attempt the extra point for the Horned Frogs. And it's good. TCU with a 21-7 lead here in the second quarter.
Yeah, good play call. Little fake, little flip pass to Wiley, and he's in for the touchdown.
TCU with a 21-7 lead over SMU. That last drive, again, no third downs with an excellent starting field position. 4 plays, 43 yards, the touchdown pass to Jared Wiley.
How about this, through a quarter, and we'll call it a quarter and a half, not quite. 11 plays for TCU of 10 or more yards. So pretty explosive. SMU only has 3.
TCU will kick it off, and SMU will let that one just go into the end zone, and we'll get it at their own 25. Kick off your Week 3 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the app. Matt Hasselbeck sits down with Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Plus, have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, previews of each game right up until kickoff. How about ZZ Top in the house?
Nice. You probably have a couple ZZ Top like 8 tracks or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm old. I guess that's me.
You know I don't.
Dating myself, sorry. Cassette tapes, Walkman, back in the day.
Ball is on the ground. Siggers gets it back. And he is dropped inside the 20. That could have been disaster. Jamoy Hodge with the tackle.
Nice job by picking it up. But boy, you try to go reverse and see what happens. And yeah, he was supposed to toss it to the receiver, and he just couldn't get it there.
Teddy Knox couldn't get the handle.
It looked like he wanted to toss it. It just kind of got stuck. But a good job by Siggers to get back on it.
So 2nd and 16 from their own 19-yard line. Mordecai with time. Throwing a good catch by Teddy Knox. Caught that one with his hands. A short gain of 4.
Yeah, good protection. I mean, really, SMU likes to take vertical shots. It's tough to do that against this defensive secondary. Comes back underneath to Knox, but I mean, if you're TCU, you're fine. You'll give that up. It's still 3rd and 12.
This 3-3-5 defense for TCU causing problems. Here comes the pressure. Mordecai has a man. Got him. Jake Bailey on the completion. A gain of 28.
So not quite a vertical shot, but a deep crossing pattern by Jake Bailey. And a good ball by Tanner Mordecai as he puts it on him. Good protection, sits in the pocket nicely, and a beautiful ball to Jake Bailey. Millard Bradford on the coverage there.
1st and 10. Mordecai looking to throw, and eventually will just get rid of it. Now, Jordan Curley is out with a shoulder injury, the wide receiver for SMU today. So they need another guy to step up at that wide receiver spot other than Rasheed Rice.
And a lot of people yesterday told us, look for Jake Bailey. We think he's going to have a big game. Well, that was a big catch right there. So that's one they need to step up. You'd like to see Moochie Dixon step up as well if you're an SMU fan.
They go to the ground on 2nd down. That's his Siggers. Gain of 3. So TCU, as we've seen all game, they're going to give you the short stuff underneath, but they're going to keep you in 3rd and long consistently.
And and they just came off the bye week, which coaches hate having a bye week so early, but they went back, they worked a lot of fundamentals the last couple weeks, and some of that was tackling, and it shows because they're doing a nice job.
3rd and 7. Mordecai. Quick throw, overthrows his receiver. It was his running back, Siggers.
Yeah, and that one's on Tanner Mordecai. He knows that. That's where he just has to be more patient. Set his feet, wait another count. He had it, put it on Siggers, and let him turn up to pick up the 1st down, and now they're forced to punt.
So for Mordecai, that is back-to-back incompletions on this drive. That's the first time this game where that has happened. And the punter, Ryan Buchevsky, is going to come on to punt. Darius Davis is the deep man for TCU. Davis will let it sail over his head, bounces at the 5. That thing is bobbled around. Eventually, they're going to say it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And it actually hit the back judge, which I think helped it. And they just, you got to be patient here. And again, it's the nose of the football. If the nose breaks the goal line, it's a touchback. It does. TCU's ball on the other side.
And now for our Fansville College Football Update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. How about Thursday night? Grayson McCall, 2 touchdown passes. And we're going to look at C.J. Stroud coming up tonight on ABC.
Chanticleer is 4-0. You know what a Chanticleer is, John?
I do not.
It's a proud and fierce rooster that protects the barnyard. And I know that because I've done a bunch of Coastal Carolina games in my past. A little trivia for y'all out there.
We got the Horned Frogs and Mustangs today. Horned Frogs. This is Darius Davis showing the burners. Darius Davis. No one's going to get him. An 80-yard house call. Darius Davis. Show him what you got. biggest play of the season for TCU, and the Horned Frogs are running all over the Mustangs right now.
That's a Horned Frog with some wheels right there. And the SMU coaches knew, because they talked about Darius Davis specifically. They said he is dangerous in space, unbelievable speed. And he showed it right there.
Griffin Kell with the extra point. And TCU with a 28-7 lead, an 80-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, and it's really not fair, but yes, it is a pass for Max Duggan. A little flip, little jet flip to Darius Davis. He turns the corner and he is gone. Again, I said it earlier in the game, all offensive coordinators try to devise plays, right? Easy plays, get into the hands of your athletes, your speedsters in space. That time, it's a jet sweep, of course, goes down as a pass. Another completion for Max Duggan, whose completion percentage is off the charts to start this season, leads the country. Boy, and Darius Davis, you like what you see there.
How about this TCU offense? Five drives already today, 4 touchdowns. That's being efficient.
Explosive. And listen, we've seen big plays like that, right? We've seen really good play in the red zone as well. So if you're Sonny Dykes, Garrett Riley, offensive coordinator, you are thrilled with your offensive performance thus far in the first half in this game.
Darius Davis was the guy who got that kickoff return for 57 yards, who set him up on the previous drive with good field position. That kick goes in the end zone, so the Mustangs will come on offense at their own 25. They find themselves down by 3 scores.
I mean, they scored so fast. I didn't even flip my charts over. I was all confused up here. I had to flip my game charts over. Darius owes me one. Scored too quick. Talking about a Chanticleer, and next thing you know, he's down the sideline.
So Tanner Mordecai, been a little off today.
Yes.
How does he get in rhythm?
Got to be patient. What did Coach say? Play passionate, but not emotional. So you keep that passion there, but just got to try to calm the nerves down. They've moved the ball offensively, just a couple mistakes, haven't been able to finish off drives, but they need a touchdown here. They need some momentum to go in at halftime.
They will start from their own 25, faking the handoff, instead throwing it over the middle to their athletic tight end, R.J. Maryland. He's a guy who's about 217 right now. They feel like in the offseason he's going to put on more weight. But at the end of that drive, Maryland stays down after making that catch.
Boy, I hope he's okay. And you're right about R.J. Maryland. Very athletic, young player. He's going to put another 15, 20 pounds on that body, can run. That time just right down the middle, little seam route, right down the middle of the field. Good recognition. Mordecai puts it on him quick and takes that hit right there. Got the safety that comes up. I think it was Josh Foster who hit him, and I don't want to speculate. You don't know. You just hope he's okay.
But Maryland, to your point, one of the biggest threats on offense to complement Rashee Rice for SMU.
No doubt about it. And you're seeing that more and more. These kids that were kind of big wide receivers in high school, and they get to college and they have the frame where they can put more weight on and more muscle, and they become that tight end that's a matchup nightmare as he gets up. So now let's just hope maybe the wind was knocked out of him on that hit from Foster and he gets back in his game.
So it's good to see Maryland walk off on the field in his own power. Completed that catch for a first down for SMU.
I wouldn't be surprised here if Rhett Lashley and Casey Woods, the offensive coordinator, maybe up their tempo up a little bit, get going a little bit.
Gardner, the man in the backfield. They give him the carry over the left side, breaks a tackle across the 50, brought down in TCU territory. Keon Stewart with the stop.
And that's the mark of all good running backs. You have to make that first man miss in the hole. TCU defender came up, Josh Foster once again. Gardner makes him miss, gets outside.
With some tempo, Mordecai is blitzed up the middle. Johnny Hodges, how do you do?
Boy, Hodges looks like he's shot out of the camera. Number 57, right up the gut. There's a double team. The center cannot slide over. Justin Osborne misses him, and Tanner Mordecai has nothing to do except take that sack. And now you go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 10.
Man, this TCU defense, they are tricky. SMU on third downs today. They are 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Mordecai pressured. He steps up, avoids the rush. Sails out, but he's going to be short. It was Keon Stewart delivering the blow, but we do have a penalty flag down at the end of that play.
And you love the effort from Tanner Mordecai. He sold out his body trying to get to the first down. It looks a little banged up because he took a big shot there by Keon Stewart. And you see the referee talking to him, see if he's okay, and I don't believe he is. They're going to have to tend to Tanner Mordecai.
He took a huge blow trying to get to that first down. He's going to be short, but now Mordecai will walk off the field.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 2 of the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So we'll take a look at it here at the end of the play. You're going to see Mordecai sell out to get this first down. The hit comes, and it's one of those ones that's, man, if you're a defensive player.
No, that's bad.
John
that's
doesn't
bad.
like it.
That's
John
bad.
doesn't like it.
That's bad.
I will say this.
The dude was trying to sell out for a first down.
I will say this. I agree with you. They are going to protect the quarterbacks. Anything tweener, they're going to call. But now Preston Stone, the 4-star that's been behind Mordecai for a couple seasons, is in for SMU.
Handoff goes to Gardner. Back to that last play.
I agree with you.
If Mordecai doesn't get hit there,
he doesn't get the first down.
Well, he might get that first down.
It's close, yeah. Listen, it's a tweener call. If you're a defensive guy, you're going to be. It's a horrible call. If you're an offensive guy, they're going to tend to protect the quarterback. I get you. That's where football is today. That's all I can tell you. It's what it is.
So Mordecai back in the game after taking a play off. Tyler Levine, the big fullback, is to his right. Under 5 minutes to play here in this first half. They're going to throw this one. No, Upshaw decides to keep it himself. And the Horned Frogs snuffed that one out. D. Winters with a loss of 3 on the tackle.
Well, and Travius Hodges-Tomlinson did a nice job. He didn't bite on that at all. Of course, he's covering Rashee Rice, so why bite on anything? Stay with Rice. He did that. Upshaw does a nice job not forcing it up. How many times you see wide receivers just throw that thing up? Really, there was double coverage. There was a safety on top of Rice as well, so just eat that one.
Once again, 3rd and long. Gardner in the backfield. Mordecai throwing over the middle. Complete at the 25, but it's going to be a yard short. Bo Corrales.
And that's what you see with a rivalry game, right? A little bump in, stepping up over someone. A DB comes in, a little bump. No flags. But yeah, this is obviously no decision here for Rhett Lasher. You're going for it, 4th and 2.
Siggers, the running back, on 4th and 2 from the 25. Mordecai throwing complete out of bounds to the 21 to Jake Bailey. That's a first down.
Yeah, another catch by Bailey. Quick out. Good job by Mordecai. Put it on him. Get past the sticks. Keep this thing alive with under 3 minutes and counting here in the second quarter. We should say the play clock isn't working. We were told it burned out because it's so hot. But they're going so fast, I don't think the play clock's an issue in this game.
Kamar Wheaton, no, keeper is to Mordecai. He will scamper out of bounds on first down, a short gain. You ever seen that? The play clock burn out because of the heat?
It's hot. We were down there. As Mordecai goes out of bounds, and you're going to say to yourself, okay, he went out of bounds, the clock's going to stop. It's going to start back up here because it's not under 2 minutes yet. So it starts back up. But there it is. Overheated, we are told. Yeah. It's that 90 feels like 100. I think that's wrong. It feels like about a 120 down there.
This is the 10th play of the drive coming up for the Mustangs. Levine and Wheaton in the backfield. Mordecai looking left. Dangerous throw, incomplete. He was looking for Kamar Wheaton.
I tell you, man, my arms went up here because I'm watching, and I'm like, don't throw it there. And I mean, a safety almost undercut that for TCU. It would have took it to the house.
Looked like that was D.
Winters
breaking
13.
on the ball.
Yes. I don't even think he saw the ball, Winters, because if he did, I think he would have had a shot at it. But good coverage on the back end from TCU. Nowhere to go with the ball for Tanner Mordecai.
Brings up 3rd and 9. Mordecai, empty backfield. Throwing, has his receiver, Rashid Rice. Touchdown, SMU. A 19-yard connection, just burning the corner. Rashid Rice, you can't guard that man.
And that's the back shoulder, right? I talked about earlier. And again, Rashid Rice is so physical. You know, and Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, he's doing his best. He's their best cover guy, right? Rashid Rice is that good. And a big score for SMU.
Colin Rogers is on now. Snap is good, kick is up and through. So SMU back within 2 scores after the touchdown catch by Rashid Rice.
And we'll take a look at a one-on-one coverage. Right side of the screen, and Tomlinson slips at the end there, goes to the ground. And again, it's Rashid Rice is so physical, makes the catch, gets it in the end zone.
Oh, the disrespect in a rivalry game.
And how about this? 5 targets for Mr. Rice, 5 receptions, 49 yards and a touchdown, and 3 other ones where penalties were called as well. So every time Rashid Rice has been targeted, it's been a positive play for SMU.
Tonight, our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One. It's a Big Ten battle at the SMU in Columbus. C.J. Stroud and the 3rd-ranked Buckeyes host Wisconsin with both teams starting conference play. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit on the call. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. It all goes down on ABC tonight and the ESPN app.
I think if you're Wisconsin, you want to play Wisconsin football, right? Slow it down, get that running game going, let your offense be your best defense, keep that very potent Ohio State offense off the field.
Is Rashid Rice a guy we're going to see play on Sunday?
Yes, and so we talked to him yesterday. He's a senior, but because of COVID, he's got another year. He's not coming back. he'll be playing somewhere next Sunday.
Short kick. Fielded out to 30, brought back a few yards for TCU. So the offense will come back on the field, 1:51 to play here in this first half.
Well, they didn't want to kick it deep, right? Because we know how good Darius Davis is back there with return. So they do that. You avoid a return, but still pretty good starting field position here for TCU with 1:51 left in this second quarter. And they are so explosive as this graphic pops up to illustrate my point. Yeah. They had a punt in there, all right, but man, look at the other plays in yardage. It's pretty good.
4 touchdowns for 5 possessions. This is their 6th possession here in this first half. Max Duggan has been the maestro today at the helm for TCU. Amari DiMarcato in the backfield. DiMarcato gets a carry, runs into his blocker, and is stopped at the 35, again at 3.
And so they'll up the tempo here because they're going to try to score. They have all 3 timeouts. They can really play their normal offense.
How about Duggan, though? He was a 3-year starter. He was beat out by Chandler Morris, and all the coaches said he still had a great attitude, approached every practice like he was still going to be the starter, and here he is. He's back to being the man at quarterback. Duggan. Eyes downfield, he's going to be ripped down to the ground. A sack for SMU.
But I'm surprised. I think Brett Lashley might actually call a timeout here. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's content, 28-14 with that momentum. And now if you're TCU, you're most likely going to shut it down here. Maybe a little inside draw, maybe a little screen pass, see if someone can bust something here. You don't want to make any mistakes here now. If you're TCU, can't get a turnover here.
3rd sack of the game for SMU. Brings up 3rd and 15. The clock is running. Under 40 seconds to play in this first half. Duggan throwing, complete. That's Quentin Johnston, their go-to receiver, to the 45, a gain of 18.
And now that you pick it up, you'll go a little quicker here. See that soft spot in the middle of the zone. Good protection by the offensive line for TCU. Good strike by Duggan.
And a penalty flag before the snap.
And that's a false start while the clock is running, so this will impose a 10-second runoff if you're TCU, unless Sonny Dykes elects to take a timeout, which he probably will.
False start, number 74, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down. TCU has elected to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
So that's the right tackle, Andrew Coker. That is the first penalty against the offense for TCU today. Well, it's Extra Yard for Teachers Week. It's an annual back-to-school effort led by College Football Playoff Foundation that brings college sports together to recognize and show appreciation to great teachers across the country. Now, to support Extra Yard for Teachers recognition and resources initiatives, you can follow at CFP Extra Yard, or you can scan the QR code for more. Now, I know all about having good teachers in my household. That's my mom on the right, Cassandra Shriffen. When we were youngsters with my grandfather, Alfonso Deal, my mom, a teacher in New York City Public Schools for 50 years. Now, she was going to retire this year, but because they've had a teacher shortage in New York City, she decided to stay in the classroom with her students. Mom, I love you and all the amazing teachers around the country. We love supporting teachers.
Mrs. Shriffen, you are a superhero. God bless you. Love it. Love it.
So coming out of the timeout, 19 seconds to play here in this first half for TCU. The Horned Frogs have 2 timeouts to work with. Duggan, pass is blocked at the line, incomplete.
And so now, you know, it might not seem like much, but if you're SMU defensively, you got to get a stop here, right? It'll give you momentum defensively that you can slow down this offense. And of course, your offense just scored, and SMU will receive the second half kickoff. Very important if you're an SMU fan. Get into the house with a score 28-14.
That was Isaac Slade Matautia with the block. So it brings up 2nd and 15 with 15 seconds to play. Monty Bailey, the running back for TCU. Duggan looking to throw, flushed out to his right on the run, incomplete, was looking for Bailey. 3rd down with 10 seconds to go here in this first half.
Yeah, and good pressure by the defensive line of SMU, getting on their horses, getting after.
That was DeVere Levelston.
Yeah, DeVere Levelston plays one of those 3 technique defensive end spots. Elijah Chapman, 40, was running as well. Talk to Elijah, another very intense individual for SMU.
So Bailey will stay in there at running back. And SMU is going to use one of their timeouts here on 3rd and 15.
Good timeout. Talk it over. Make sure you're in the right defense. 10 seconds left, really 2 plays left. So if you're TCU, you're trying to move it 20, 25 yards to give your kicker a chance at 3. And so now if you're SMU, of course, nothing over the top, no big plays. If something comes up underneath, come up and make the tackle.
How about the job Max Duggan has done at quarterback for TCU today?
And you mentioned it earlier. It's tough in these days that 2 good quarterbacks stay in the same program, right? Because with the transfer portal or free agency, if you want to call it in college football today, they're leaving. Duggan stays, and he's been so good today. Scans the field, making all the throws, made plays with his feet as well. Now that's a little easy flip that he's going to get a lot of yardage, but boy, done a nice job spreading it around. Again, came into the game leading the nation in completion percentage, and look at him today, 13 for 16, 212 and 3. Pretty good first half for Max Duggan.
3rd and 15, 10 seconds to play in this first half. Duggan pressured, and he is dropped again. A loss of 10 on the sack.
Yeah, good pressure. They get after him, a little stunt inside. Good pressure on the outside there as well. Nelson Paul, that rush end, we've called his name out a couple times. In a good way for that SMU defense to get after it.
So that'll do it for the first half. TCU, no?
I think a timeout was called. We'll have to sort this out.
We were getting set to roll out the first half, but SMU did call a timeout. They want to make TCU punt it away here on 4th down. 4 seconds left here in this first half.
So listen, I agree with the call. You're down by a couple touchdowns. If you can get the play stopped, which they did, they got the timeout. Defense is staying excellent. Now you can either try to set up a return or maybe go after the punt. We'll see what they elect to do.
If you're SMU and you find yourself right now down by 2 scores, what's the mentality heading into the half?
You feel good about yourself the way you finished the half, right? Touchdown, defensive stop. I think you kind of shot yourself in the foot a couple times offensively, and then defensively, you got to figure something out to kind of slow down TCU because they've pretty much been able to do what they want. And really, it's all started with the running attack. I mean, Kendre Miller, phenomenal running the ball in the first half for TCU.
So with 4 seconds to play, TCU is going to keep their offense on the field.
Yeah, so they're just going to snap it to Duggan, let him run around for 4 seconds, and then fall down is what he's going to do. Because, you know, if it's 7, 8 seconds, it's hard to do that. 4 seconds, they should be able to snap it to him. He should be able to run around and fall down.
So once the SMU defense saw that Duggan came back onto the field, they used another timeout, and they're going to talk it over.
Correct, because now you got to get your special teams off. You got to get them back. So, you know, kind of the chess match of football, but it's you know, it's point, counterpoint here, back and forth by both coaching staffs. Exactly what you should do. And smart out of Sonny Dykes saying we're not going to even try to force a punt here because, you know, more bad things could go wrong with a punt than my quarterback taking a snap, kill 4 seconds, and fall down.
So this break in the action started with an SMU timeout, TCU countered with a timeout, and then SMU countered with another timeout. And I think we're ready to play here with 4 seconds, offense on the field for TCU. So if you're SMU, you're in the ultimate prevent defense. You got your safety lined up at the 35. Here we go. Duggan throwing it up just to eat the clock, and will throw it out of bounds. That will be the last play of the first half.
Yeah. So now if you're Max Duggan, you're only mad now because you get an incompletion, you know, but you'll be all right.
That's how the first half will end here in Dallas. Our score, TCU 28, SMU 14. We will be back with first half highlights, stat, and more after this. It's been TCU lighting up the scoreboard, but SMU with a good touchdown to score within 2 touchdowns to take it into the locker room. To that 2-score lead here at the half. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside my running back. He's Rini Angolia. I'm John Triffin. Well, TCU wanted a fast start, and man, did they start fast. They're up by 14 at the half.
Yeah, really impressed with that TCU offense, running the ball, throwing the ball, moved it around, really kind of did whatever they wanted out there. Max Duggan, I mean, it's been exceptional. Scanning the field there, he hits Williams for the touchdown, then Mordecai tries to throw it all the way across the field. The safety Abe Kamara with the interception, and then the running game, Kendre Miller looks strong. He's an every down back. He's got good speed with his power, but SMU fought back. That time, the touchdown by Trey Siggers, and then TCU with the answer, Duggan to the tight end Wiley, and then the speedster, Darius Davis, the little flip from Max Duggan, gets to the outside, shows you the speed as he goes down that right sideline for TCU. But a strong answer for SMU, of course. Rashee Rice, 5 targets, 5 receptions, a touchdown, and oh, by the way, 3 pass interferences against him as well, actually 8 targets. So good fight by SMU at the end of the half to get that late score, and defense got the hold.
212 passing yards, 80 of that went to Darius Davis on that little toss where he just ran past everybody. If you're SMU, you get the ball first. You're down by 14. What was the adjustment at the half?
I think patience, right? I think patience by Tanner Mordecai. I think he missed a couple throws that he wished he could have back. You know, the one turnover. And again, they move the ball, and it's just patience and then finishing off drives. See if they can get that running game going a bit as well.
So TCU, Luke Lamanek will kick things away, and once again SMU will let that one just go through the end zone, so they'll start at their own 25-yard line. Tanner Mordecai looking to get some kind of a rhythm. He's been on the money to Rashee Rice. Now who else is going to step up?
Well, first I would keep going to Rashee Rice. Let me just say that right now. But, you know, Moochie Dixon is one that they're looking to step up, and a name that we call out a couple times, Jake Bailey, a nice wide receiver for SMU as well.
This is the 101st battle for the Iron Skillet, this rivalry game. Both schools separated by just 45 minutes. Trey Siggers will get the start in the backfield to start this third quarter for SMU. Mordecai looking to throw on first down, and his receiver never found the ball. Austin Upshaw, incomplete.
Yeah, and just good defense on the outside. Physicality from TCU. Kind of knocked Upshaw off his route. And as you said, never caught his footing.
So 2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers for Mordecai. Handoff goes to Siggers. And he gets swallowed immediately, a gain of 4. Demonic Williams and Terrell Cooper on the stop for TCU.
That's the issue, though. When you take a shot like that on first down, you don't complete it. You come back with a run on second down, you pick up 4, you get it to 3rd and 6, but big down and distance here, and TCU running a lot of players off. And they get them off in time. Looked like they were going to take a timeout, but they got their defense in that they want.
On 3rd downs today, SMU is 50%, 5 for 10. Mordecai scanning the field, will take a shot, complete. This is Jake Bailey. Stopped just short of the 50-yard line by Keon Stewart, a gain of 19.
Huge 3rd down conversion. Watch the throw from Tanner Mordecai, and a lot of crossing routes by SMU. Jake Bailey gets loose. Mordecai puts it on him, spins it in there, and a big conversion for the Mustangs.
There's that second receiver to step up for SMU, Jake Bailey. Throwing on first down, incomplete, was looking for Rice.
Yeah, and that time, TCU drops a defender off, gets in the throwing window from Rashee Rice on that slant pattern, and it goes incomplete.
Defensively, what adjustment does TCU make now on Rashee Rice?
Well, you know, I think Travius Hodges-Tomlinson's doing the best he can, but that time you're going to have some guys come over and help out. That time you saw the linebacker drop with some depth. Helped out tremendously.
4 wide receivers here on 2nd and 10 for SMU. Penalty flag, screen pass to Siggers. A good gain on 2nd down, but let's see what that flag was, a gain of 9.
It's going to be an illegal shift. SMU was not set at the snap, and that's unfortunate. That's going to move them back 5 after the nice pickup to Siggers.
That's on SMU. That'll be their first penalty of the ball game.
And it is.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
And Rhett Lashley was pleading his case, and the line judge is telling him they weren't set at the snap, and the flag came out immediately. And that hurts, right? Because those are those unforced penalties, right? The defense didn't force you to do that. You did it on your own, and instead of 2nd and 2, you know, 8 or 9, 2nd and 1, 8 or 9 yard pickup, now you're 2nd and 15. Or I should say 3rd and 2.
So the ball gets pushed back to their own 44-yard line, 2nd and 15. Mordecai pressured up the middle. Penalty flag is down as he gets thrown to the ground. That's Tymon Mitchell.
And good activity up front by that TCU defensive line. Very active. See what the flag is. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on SMU because you see the referee talking to Sonny Dykes. They want to decline it and make it 3rd and long, or take the penalty and give him 2nd down over again.
Personal foul, face mask, number 4 of the offense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play is 3rd down at this spot.
And that's what they chose the down, right? Because it's still 3rd and very long. Could have moved him back a little bit more. Trey Siggers, the running back, just got his hand up a little bit, pulled a face mask.
So 3rd and 18. And before the snap, looks like a timeout TCU.
Timeout TCU. It's their first of the half.
Yeah, I think they were just a little unorganized on the back end, so Sonny Dykes says, let's take a timeout. It's 3rd and 18. We don't want to give up a big play here.
So we will take this break with Sonny Dykes on the field as the defense wants to talk things over. We'll be back after this. It's been a great atmosphere for a rivalry game here on the campus of SMU. TCU up by 14 points, and a 3rd and long coming up for SMU from their own 41.
And this is that distance here where obviously nothing vertical for SMU. If you're TCU, just come up, give them the underneath stuff, make the tackle.
Mordecai airing it out. He's got his receiver. Incomplete. Teddy Knox had a step. Looked like Noah Daniels, or excuse me, Josh Newton was the man in coverage, but Knox.
And just as I say, nothing vertical, Knox runs right by Josh Newton. The ball actually hits him in the face.
Yeah. Newton celebrating the incompletion, but the receiver should have caught that one.
Exactly. I mean, 3rd and 18, you cannot get beat vertically like that. They did, and
he
they
almost
dodged the
got
bullet.
burned there. So 4th down, Ryan Bachevsky is going to punt this one away. Davis, the dangerous returner, will call for a fair catch at the 15. That is a punt of 44 yards. How about the day for Max Duggan? 13 of 17, 3 touchdown passes, including that kind of pitch. Could have been a little handoff
Still
to
counts,
Darius Davis.
but he's done a nice job of running the offense, spreading the ball around. Again, has made some plays with his feet as well. And oh, by the way, he wasn't even the starter game 1. Chandler Morris was. Ended up tweaking his knee in that game against Colorado. Insert Max Duggan. 31 starts, very experienced. Has really worked on his throwing. I mean, he's really progressed as a thrower, and it's shown today, and he can zip it.
That 80-yard touchdown pass, that was the longest touchdown pass for TCU since 2017. So Kendre Miller, who went to work in the first half, will get the start at running back here. His first carry, outrunning defenders, chopped down at the 20. For a big back, he shows you that explosive speed.
Well, and that time, you know, if I'm Kendre Miller's running back coach, you're going to see there's a point here, and he bounces it right here. Put that right foot down and go forward. Take on the safety. When you try to go east and west, those little corners are going to come up, and that was Brandon Crosley, the nickelback. He's going to come up and cut you down. That's what he did there. He could really, you know, punish, but all in all, Kendre Miller's running hard today.
Corey Spivey was the man in motion there pre-snap. Duggan bringing the heat, gets it away. Did he catch that? Whoa, what a catch by Kendre Miller. A 10-yard pickup. Look at this one.
And it's a nice job by Duggan because the defender's not looking. It's a little just throw it. The defender's not looking back. And boy, good concentration by Kendre Miller.
Quick throw to the outside, back to Miller. I mean, that was Duggan on that last play before that throw, just feeling the pressure and getting rid of it.
And that's the matchup you want. That was Nelson Paul, the bandit. We've seen him from that rush defensive end spot. You know, he's on space with your running back. You like that matchup. Duggan throws it up, and Kendre Miller makes the catch.
Second and 7. Miller in battle in the backfield. This is Miller on the carry. Delays. Still on his feet. A flag comes in from deep. Let's see what that call is.
That's a good arm by the side judge there because he threw that flag about 40 yards. must have been a baseball player in high school.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block, number 18 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
So that's the wide receiver, Savion Williams, called for the block.
And he's a big-bodied wide receiver, 6'5", 215, 220. And again, the rule is, you know, in the old days, those were highlight blocks, right? You saw them on highlight shows. You come in and crack against someone and they're not looking, it's a blindside block. It is illegal, 15-yard penalty, and they're going to call that. That is a point of emphasis.
Backs him up. It'll be 2nd and 18 for TCU offense. This is DeMarcado trying to stretch it and cannot get to the edge. Shannon Reed pulled him down.
Yeah, nice job by the defense to string it out, east and west. Get there to make the tackle. Good penetration by Chapman. And then you see the speed underneath by the defender to get there. Shannon Reed to make that tackle.
So after the penalty and now the loss, it brings up 3rd and 22. Duggan going to set up a screen pass to DeMarcado. And SMU will give him that underneath space, tripped up past the 35 to the 36. That was Armani Johnson and Nick Roberts on the stop, a gain of 18, but it brings up 4th down.
Almost gave him too much. It was a great play call. Screen on 3rd and long. They darn near pick it up. Good job by SMU to come up, make that tackle, get it to 4th and 4, and obviously at the 36 here, your own 36, you're going to punt this thing away here. So good job by SMU.
Jordan Sandy will come on for his 2nd punt of the day. Moochie Nix Dixon is the deep man for SMU. Sandy with that end-over-end punt. It is short. Checks up at the 25. And it will be down at the 26. TCU with a 14-point lead in this rivalry game. SMU offense coming on when we get back. The Giants, they're 2-0 for the first time since 2009. The Cowboys, they're coming off that thrilling win against the Bengals. They will both meet in our Week 3 Monday Night Football matchup, and our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month continues at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Don't forget, Payne and Eli, they are also back on ESPN2. Monday Night Countdown kicks off our coverage, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It all starts on ESPN. How about Micah Parsons? 4 sacks this year, leading that Dallas defense.
How about his alma mater, Penn State? Dare I say, kind of flying under the radar in the Big Ten. No one's really talking about him. Went down, handed to Auburn a few weeks ago.
Giants, Cowboys, who you got?
You know, being a kid growing up, I was a Cowboys fan, so I'll say Cowboys. What the heck? Cooper Rush, why not?
Mordecai overthrows his receiver, was looking for Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice had room there because Mark Perry, the guy in coverage, actually fell down.
Well, you know, you try to give him a little cushion and try to get to him and lose your feet. And yeah, that one. First time really today, they've kind of been off sync.
But we've seen at least 3 or 4 times where Mordecai has had an open guy and just overthrown him. So coming off that incompletion, it'll be 2nd and 10 for SMU. Ball on their own 26. Mordecai looking to throw. Here comes the pressure, gets the throw off, incomplete. He took a shot. It was intended for Rashee Rice, and Mordecai got blown up at that end of that play.
Yeah, it was a delayed blitz. Mordecai releases the ball, takes the big hit, and that time really good coverage by Hodges Tomlinson. Just in the hip pocket of Rashee Rice.
It was Millard Bradford bringing the pressure on Mordecai.
Coming from that nickel spot on the delayed blitz.
So after back-to-back incompletions intended for Rice, it brings up 3rd and 10. They're bringing the heat again. Mordecai gets rid of it. A lot of contact. overthrows Rice. No call. 4th down.
Well, the jersey was grabbed again. That's why you heard a little bit of a groan. But because it was a high pass and he really didn't have a chance, no flag came out.
5 straight incompletions for this SMU offense. And that is the first 3 and out for either team today.
And you wonder if the big hit on the sideline where Mordecai drew the penalty, that affected him a little bit, you know, with his throwing motion possibly.
Kuchevsky will kick this one away to Darius Davis. Will take it on a big hop at the 30. Trying to figure out a lane, makes a cut, scoots upfield, and brought down at the 45. Darius Davis is so electric. A 44-yard punt, a return of 15.
You say electric, I say dangerous, because I thought he was going to go to the outside and just stop on a dime and just so quick. Man, yeah, that's a good weapon to have for TCU in special teams, in the offense from that slot. And we saw what he did on that jet sweep pass he caught. And he's a dangerous individual, Darius Davis.
TCU has Oklahoma next week. The focus was, how do you not look ahead? How do you not look ahead to the Sooners coming to your place and focus on SMU? And TCU in that first half and so far in this third quarter, they've done that.
They've done it, and they've done it well. And that's the thing that Sonny Dykes said we need to fix, that roller coaster inconsistency. Up for a game, not really up for it. Back up. We want to be even keel with all our games across the board, whether it's a rivalry game, Oklahoma, big game in conference. And they look good today thus far.
Johnson, the man in motion, he will get the toss across the 50 yards, so that's a pass to Johnson, a gain of 8.
Yeah, and really Quentin Johnson pretty quiet in the first half, so that might be a guy that TCU wants to try to target here in the second half, get him going. Big target, very athletic.
I mean, that was the play we saw from Darius Davis, that he took 80 yards to the house.
So that's something, you can run that play with a 5'10" slot receiver, and then you can give it to a 6'4" outside receiver as well that can run.
Shift on the defensive line here on 2nd and 2, and early motion on the offensive line.
False start, number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Andrew Coker, that's his 2nd penalty flag today.
Yeah, it's Andrew just a little quick, trying to, a little down block there. Got a little head start. But otherwise, a nice job by the offensive line for TCU today. They did a nice job protecting Max Duggan and also opening some holes for their running backs.
We talked about the one transfer from SMU was Alon Ali, the center. Still actually keeps in touch with his old quarterback, Tanner Mordecai. Tanner said, yeah, we said something this week, but nothing about the game.
No, he sent him a picture, the video of Bryson DeChambeau getting hit by the ropes.
Duggan on 2nd down. Davis going nowhere on that screen pass.
Brandon Crosley, the nickel, nice job fighting off the block and making the tackle. I mean, it's imperative when you run those wide receiver screens, the other wide receivers out there must block at the point of attack. If they don't and the defender gets off, they can blow the play up, just like Brandon Crosley did right there.
SMU fans are getting loud on 3rd down. TCU today, 2 for 5 on 3rd downs.
And this is a money down, right? 3rd and 10. You have to get off the field if you're a defense here.
2 running backs in the backfield. It's DeMarcado and Miller. Here comes the heat. Throwing it up to Johnson. Incomplete pass. Jahari Rogers was the man to break it up for SMU.
And Jahari Rogers, he's a young corner, but very talented. That was the matchup they got. That one floated by Duggan a little bit. Really wanted to try to get that out in front and lead Quentin Johnson. A little contact there, but they've been letting him play.
That was a lot of contact before the ball got there.
And they've been letting him play today, so it's one.
So you like the no call?
I do, because they've been pretty consistent with it. You know, they've had some calls on TCU against Rashee Rice, but those were pretty blatant grabs.
Sandy looking to angle this one inside the 20. Bounces at the 5, batted back, and it will be down inside the 5. Jordy Sandy, add $20 more to Fort Worth's Hope Center for Autism. We love donating to charity. SMU ball when we come back. Football lost a member of their family. Paul Lane was a super fan. Went to every single game over the past 50 years, dating back to when he was a cheerleader and student here at SMU. Attended 542 straight SMU games. To remember him, they have a PL on the back of their helmets. Paul Lane, you were certainly missed here at SMU. On 1st and 10, handoff to Trace Siggers up the middle, a gain of 6.
And you're just trying to get some breathing room now here. For SMU, get off that goal line. Good job on 1st down by Siggers. Get him out to the 8-yard line.
Can you imagine that? Going to every single game for over 50 years. I mean, he traveled with the team as far as Hawaii and Tokyo over that 50-year span. Incredible. Handoff, Siggers, right side over past the 20-yard line. A 1st down for SMU. So this is how they're honoring him. See that PL on the back of all the helmets.
And he truly was a super fan. He affected a lot of people. Sonny Dykes had obviously comments about him as well because he was here for the last 4 years and just, you know, again, meant a lot to a lot of people. And yeah, it's amazing. 542 straight games. That's incredible.
On 1st down, back to the ground with Siggers, trying to stretch it to the outside. A gain of 3.
Yeah, run to the boundary there. Not a lot of room, but a good job by Siggers. Turn it up. Again, those are those okay to be on, you know, just a kind of an ordinary play, 3 yards. Get something out of it.
After all that scoring in the 1st half, we have not seen either team score here in the 2nd half. Both defenses making adjustments at the half. On the ground, this is Wheaton, and he gets pushed back. You hear the applause from the TCU fans in attendance. No gain. Jamoy Hodge with the stop.
And you see the speed of the backer. So you saw Jamoy Hodge, right? He was about 5-6 yards back, but you see how it looks like a light box, but you see how fast he comes up. Excellent speed, reading the play, and making the tackle.
3rd and 7. The back end of the defense for TCU moving up into the box. Mordecai looking left, throwing, complete. That's Moochie Dixon making an adjustment to come back to the ball. A 1st down for the Mustangs after a gain of 30.
And we mentioned, right, with Jordan Curley out, who's going to step up? We talked about Jake Bailey, and we mentioned Moochie Dixon. Big play here by Moochie as he makes the adjustment and makes that catch for the 1st down.
Now into TCU territory. Mordecai throwing, incomplete.
Yeah, Millard Bradford there. Watch the break on the ball. Comes across and knocks it away from the wide receiver.
Nolan Matthews Harris got his hands on it. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Rashee Rice at the bottom of your screen. They're looking his way, throwing an out route. He ran before he caught it, incomplete.
4:39 left in the 3rd quarter. Note that down because you're not going to see Rashee Rice drop many balls. And you're right, just a quick speed out, good timing, ball's right there, and you're right. He wanted to run with the ball, you know, and he knows that, but boy, yeah, that one hurts.
Under 5 minutes to play here in this 3rd quarter, 3rd and 10. Mordecai setting up the screen. And Siggers can't get away from Travius Hodges Tomlinson. Coming up from his corner spot to save it.
Yeah, tremendous job by Hodges Tomlinson to come up to make that tackle. And if the name Tomlinson sounds familiar, yeah, his uncle is the one and only LaDainian Tomlinson, TCU star, NFL star. Except, you know, nephew plays defense.
How about this? SMU offense staying on the field on 4th and 10. So far today, being aggressive on 4th downs, they are perfect 2 for 2. Mordecai dropping back, throwing over the middle, complete. That's Jake Bailey looking for the end zone. He is just short at the 1, stopped by Keon Stewart. A gain of 45. Bailey can't believe he didn't get in.
What a gutsy call by Rhett Lashley. 4th and 10, they're past the 50. They said, we're down by a couple scores, we're going for it. Not only do they pick it up, but what a catch by Jake Bailey as he goes up. They can't quite get it in, down inside the 1.
On the doorstep, this is Siggers. Yes, touchdown SMU. They go for it on 4th down, and Siggers caps it off with a 1-yard touchdown run.
You would ask me earlier, right? Who's going to step up besides Rashee Rice at the wide receiver spot? We mentioned Moochie Dixon and Jake Bailey. Both of them came through in this possession with big-time catches.
Colin Rogers on to try to make this a 7-point game. And he bangs it through. Just like that, we got a ball game again here in Dallas. Longest scoring drive in terms of yards this season, and this was the play to set it up.
Yeah, good throw by Mordecai. Bailey goes up, makes the catch. Can't quite get it into the end zone. 1st and goal, though. Give it to Trey Siggers. Little inside zone. Get low. Smell the goal line. Get it in. And the Mustangs only trail by 7.
How about the energy in the stadium? I mean, we knew it was going to be tense with a rivalry game. The return of Sonny Dykes. And now SMU fans have something to cheer about.
Well, it didn't happen right away. You know, we knew at the end of the first half, if SMU got to stop, which they did, they were going to get the ball in the second half. Preferably, you want to go down and score and make it a touchdown game. It took about 12 minutes, but they do get it to a touchdown game here, and we're in for a whale of a finish.
Ari DiMarcado, the deep man for TCU. As Brendan Hall, a short kick, fielded at the 30, and TCU will just fall on it. How about a little baseball action? Aaron Judge, he continues his chase of Roger Maris's AL home run record. A Sunday night baseball game matchup as the Yankees hosting the Red Sox to finish up a 4-game series at Yankee Stadium. It all goes down 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage starts at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown. Michael Kay and A-Rod will have their K-Rod presentation on ESPN2. Well, the Yankees, they're playing right now. Aaron Judge, 0 for 2. He's at the plate right now.
It would be fitting if he did it against the Red Sox. And I believe, someone will probably hit me up on Twitter, I believe Roger Maris, when he hit 61, was against the Red Sox.
You know how much that home run ball right now could go for? Somebody already put a figure out there. They're offering $2 million for whoever catches that ball. So Aaron Judge just walks as TCU back to work, completing on 1st down. That is to Jared Wiley, the tight end, a gain of 12.
Yeah, no walking here. Wiley's a big target, 6'7", 255. We saw the touchdown he had earlier in the game. Nice catch there.
What would you do to get that home run ball? $2 million up for grabs?
You're like an 8-year-old. You got to bring your mitt to the game, right?
I mean, you and everybody else.
That's right.
Miller, the man in the backfield, they give him a tough. No, keeper is Duggan. And he's going to lose 2 on that play.
Yeah, so that was defended nicely by SMU as Duggan pulls it. Nowhere to go. You saw the edge get set. Brian Massey, the free safety, comes up in run support.
That's the center, Alon Ali, who is down for TCU. Well, they tend to Ali. Let's take a look tonight. Saturday Night Football, our game presented by Capital One. It's a Big Ten battle at the Shoe in Columbus. C.J. Stroud, the 3rd-ranked Buckeyes. They host Wisconsin. Both teams starting conference play. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. They got the call at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. You know, there are so many people in the house for this game. The first sellout since 2015 as they attend to Ali, who is down. And they're going to try to help.
You need a couple
center
guys to help pick up the big man. And you see Brian Massey over there as well.
All right, take a look at these turned into suites. These are actually the offices of Deputy AD Kurt Potcotter and Senior Associate AD Lauren Adee. Both of them, they had to get their personal pictures, all of their stuff out of their office because their offices were turned into hospitality suites. $10,000 a pop for this game and any other game this season. That's how much demand for this rivalry game here at SMU.
They should get like a little bonus, right, for giving up their office, right?
I mean, they should.
It's not,
the AD's got to show them some love.
Well, it's not just giving up. It's packing everything up.
Pack up everything in your office and make room for somebody else? That's dedication. Second and 12. Johnston in motion. Duggan throwing to the right, completes to Spivey, and quickly pushed out of bounds by Nick Roberts.
Good intensity by that SMU defense there, flying to the ball. And they've made some nice adjustments.
Seems like SMU has the momentum right now with the crowd starting to get loud here on 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the offense from TCU in the first half, I think kind of got left in the locker room because they're kind of a shell of themselves here in this third quarter.
Play clock on this end is at 0.
Well, I'm looking across the field. It looks like the first down chain might have broke, and that's what the delay is. So although the players are ready to go, the officials are not.
Now we got the play clock on one end is still working, but on the other end, the Heat has still taken it out. So as they adjust the chains on the TCU sideline, both teams are going to use this as a hydration break and talk things over with 3rd and 9. If you're TCU offense, what are you looking here?
Well, yeah, maybe if you're going to go underneath before the first down marker, how about some crossing routes, right? See if you can get it to one of your guys in space. You can turn up and get the first down. Other than that, your routes have to be deeper than 10 yards. So when you make the catch, it's a first down. We'll see. They got 5 wides here.
And now, of course, because one clock is out on one end, both clocks, they're not using them to give one team an advantage. 3rd and 9 for TCU. Here comes the blitz. Picked up nicely. Throw over the middle. Got his man. Gunnar Henderson. The offensive line comes through again for the Horned Frogs. A gain of 14, first down.
And because of the blitz by SMU, you had a lot of one-on-one coverage in the back end. Good route by Henderson. Nice job by Duggan to put it on him to pick up the first down.
Now they're going to go quick, the offense. Duggan, no huddle.
And he's mad at the official because they wanted to go quick. They said they didn't substitute, but the center judge held them for SMU to substitute. So that's why he's not happy.
Duggan keeps it, throws a stiff arm, and will get down. Samuels with the tackle. Oh, he's going to have some words
Well,
now.
he's still talking to the referee. I mean, but if you're Max Duggan, flush it. You got to forget about it, right? They held you up. You didn't get to run the play as quick as you wanted to. Let it go. 2nd and long here. Regroup.
So Hudson and Johnson will flip sides of the field. DeMarcado in the backfield as Hudson goes in motion. DeMarcado will toss it. This is to Barber. He's throwing complete to Jordan Hudson. He's the former SMU commit, decided to stick with Sonny Dykes and come to TCU.
A little double reverse pass. Good ball by Barber. Throws it underneath, but it allows Hudson to come back and make the catch before the safety can come over and make the play. Makes the tackle, but another first down for TCU.
A little trickeration, 18 yards on the pickup as the clock continues to run under 30 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
And oh, by the way, Tay Barber, former high school quarterback, so he's used to throwing the ball.
3 wide receivers with Miller in the backfield. Miller gets the carry. A tough gain of 2 on first down, and that should do it for the third quarter. We've only seen one score. It was a touchdown by SMU to pull within 7, but the Horned Frogs are moving on offense. Fourth quarter's coming up. Come back with us. Welcome back to the All-State Saturday Kickoff. You are watching the American Conference here on ESPN. It's a rivalry game. TCU with a 7-point lead over SMU. The Horned Frogs offense has not scored in the second half, but as we get ready to start this fourth quarter, they are moving the ball right now. Duggan, pressure, ball is out! Miller jumps on top of it at the 30-yard line as Duggan is slow to get up. That was Nelson Paul with the strip sack.
And I tell you, Kendry Miller thought for a second to try to pick it up, not jump on it, and he almost didn't get it. Crisis averted for TCU there, and again, Nelson Paul, who plays the bandit position, number 9 for SMU. It's a rush defensive end, but also drops back as a linebacker. It's been very effective from that defensive end spot. He'll get credit for a sack there. Strip sack.
Brings up 3rd and 16. Ball just outside the 30-yard line. Bailey in the backfield, and TCU, they're going to call a timeout.
They didn't get it in.
No,
it was
they
a
didn't get it
delayed game.
off. Yeah, penalty first.
So I don't know if we explained it. So when the play clocks are out, what happens is the back judge has the time on his watch. When it gets to 10 seconds, he'll raise his hand and make a counting motion so the quarterback can look at him and know he's got 10 seconds to get the play off. He didn't get the play off, hence the delay of game.
Duggan looking to throw down the middle, in and out of the hands of his receiver, Quentin Johnston. He was popped on the end of that one by Nick Roberts.
And Johnson saw Nick Roberts coming over, no doubt about it. Doesn't make the catch and gets hit. That's that one when you're a receiver, you gotta think, well, you're gonna get hit anyway. Just concentrate and make that catch, but that's a tough one. Easier said than done. Nice job by the boundary safety though. Nick Roberts to come over. Lowered his target as well on the big receiver. Exactly what you want to do to break up that play.
You looked like you last night when the check came out.
That's
That's alligator hands.
But there's no doubt about it. I'm slow to the wallet. Not ashamed to say it. I'm old, John. I'm old. You're quick and spry. Get to those pockets fast.
4th and 21. The punt team will come out. Jordy Sandy. End over end high kick. Bounces, checking up, and will be down inside the 15-yard line. TCU, a 7-point lead.
The All-State Saturday Kickoff is presented by Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem.
What a scene here in Dallas with SMU trailing by 7 here at Gerald J. Ford Stadium. John Schriffen alongside Rini and Golia for this rivalry game. 101st matchup between SMU and TCU. First half, the offense for TCU was on fire. 4 touchdowns, 6 drives. This second half, nada.
And give credit to that SMU defense. Flying around, done a better job against the run in this second half.
SMU starts on the ground with Trey Siggers. The SMU offense, they found something special on their last drive because the first 2 drives of the third quarter, they had 9 plays for 16 yards. On that last drive, 10 plays, 98 yards.
Yeah, and again, we talked about a couple of receivers stepping up. Moochie Dixon, Jake Bailey.
This is Siggers pounding it up ahead, and They're going to give him the first down. Johnny Hodges with the tackle.
Yeah, I like the concerted effort to run the ball here. 2 runs to start this possession, pick up a first down. You see how hard Siggers is running. Good job up front by that offensive line. Branson Hickman, the leader, the center there, 56.
They go back to Siggers, trying to bounce outside, wrapped up at his ankles. That's Mark Perry making the stop.
Yeah, and the strong safeties, the middle safeties, they call their nickel, the middle safety, that's TCU. They do a nice job of staying home, not getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar, peeking inside, so when that back bounces it, he can turn the corner, stay there, set the edge, and make the tackle. Mark Perry's been really good for TCU.
So no gain on first will bring up 2nd and 10. Mordecai out of the shotgun. Looking right. Strong throw. A lot of contact. No call. Was looking for Rashee Rice. That was Hodges Tomlinson in coverage.
And that time it looked like Rashee Rice tried, right, to draw the pass interference call. It looked bad when you're just looking at it. But, you know, from here, Hodges Tomlinson looked like he was okay. Yeah, a little contact there, but at the end it looked like Rashee Rice was going down already. So again, we talked about it earlier. They're letting them play. I have no problem with that no call there.
Yeah, they're letting it go both ways now. This is a rivalry game. They're letting them get after it. Mordecai has a man, completes across the 40. That's Jake Bailey, a gain of 17.
And we thought going to this one that Jake Bailey might be the one that steps up, the number 2 receiver that has a nice game. And nice catch there, and a good throw by Tanner Mordecai. His arm is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. He zipped that thing in there on 3rd and 10, keeps his drive alive.
Mordecai looking to throw again, empty backfield, down the middle, dangerous pass, picked off. Josh Newton on the return. Finally brought down inside SMU territory. Was looking for Rashee Rice. That's an interception and a return of 33 yards.
And there's one-on-one down the middle of the field. He had the matchup he wants. There's actually Moochie Dixon he was looking for. Dixon falls down as he tries to adjust to the ball, and Josh Newton sitting right there, center field, makes the easy interception as Dixon falls down, and a nice return. And that's a one-on-one matchup, so Tanner Mordecai is going to take a shot at that, give his receiver a chance. Dixon goes down. Newton makes the interception.
A huge play for TCU on defense. Sets up their offense in good field position. This is the 2nd start in SMU territory this game. Let's see what the Horned Frogs can do with the ball here.
If you're TCU offensively, you have to take advantage of this good field position. I would expect them to try to get Kendre Miller going this possession here.
Here is Miller with the carry. He gets downhill so quickly inside the red zone. Finally brought down by Gary Wiley, but not after a gain of 19.
Yeah, that run's going to put him over 100 for the day, and you said it, John. He's 220, but he's got good speed, and the coaches like to say good twitch. It's very quick for his size, and when you get a guy 220 that gets downhill that fast, that's a load coming at you in a hurry.
TCU inside the red zone today, 2 for 2. They go back to Miller, makes a cut, bruising again inside the 15. Jimmy Phillips on the stop.
And you know I love that partner. Those running backs finish the runs behind their pads. You hear those pads popping. And I always tell people, there's no rule that the defense is the only one that gets hit. As an offensive player like a Kendre Miller, you finish the run and you make those DBs feel it at the end.
Second and 4. Miller. They are going to ride him here in this 4th quarter. Shannon Reed bringing him down. But that's enough for a first down.
And obviously shortens the game, right? When you get that running game going, just keep that clock running. You're up by a score. Obviously, you'd love a touchdown here, but even a field goal puts you up by 2 scores as we approach 10 minutes left in the 4th.
So it's now 1st and goal from the 8. Miller stopped immediately, hit by Shannon Reed in the backfield, a loss of 2.
Yeah, and Reed's been very active in this game. He's out of Fort Myers, Florida. Middle linebacker, look at him read through there, get the big back and lasso him down.
SMU today, 8 tackles for loss already.
Yeah, they get to the point of attack quickly, and talking to the coaches about Shannon Reed, they said he runs extremely well for a middle linebacker. And oh, by the way, he loves to hit, which I don't know a middle linebacker that doesn't.
I've never heard of one linebacker that doesn't.
That's true.
Ball on the 10, 2nd and goal. Duggan will keep it himself. Gets a block from his receivers to the outside. Tackled down inside the 5. Isaac Slade-Matautia with the stop again at 9.
Quentin Johnson, number 1, might be having a quiet game catching the ball, but he threw a heck of a block on the outside there for Max Duggan. Right there, allow Duggan to bounce it. You don't see too many quarterbacks bouncing on zone read. He does. Gets it down to the 1-yard line.
TCU 3 for 8 so far on 3rd downs today. 3rd and goal with DeMarcado in the backfield.
And spread him out, go underneath the Kendre Miller. That's what I would do.
DeMarcado with the carry, and he's in there for a touchdown. TCU back to a 2-score lead.
Or DeMarcado, my correction. Yeah, so they go trips up top wide, kind of spread out that SMU defense, try to lighten their box up. Give it to DeMarcado, another pounder, 210-pounder, that inside zone, and he finishes it off with a touchdown.
Griffin Kell is on for the extra point. And he hooks it through. 35-21, TCU with a lead. A 6-play, 37-yard drive, all on the ground for TCU.
It's a way to finish it.
By AT&T 5G, and it happened moments ago. It was the interception by Josh Newton.
Mordecai had one-on-one with his receiver, Moochie Dixon. Dixon slips down. Josh Newton makes the easy interception. And then they finish it off. Give it to the running back, DeMarcado underneath. Good job of that offensive line, and TCU up again by 14. And that's the mark of a good offense. Defense gets the takeaway, gives you good field position, and you finish it off with a score with the touchdown.
Laminette getting set to kick for TCU. Short kick, fielded at the 21, fair catch called for. Here's some of our featured American Athletic Conference football games on ESPN Plus coming up later. East Carolina, they host the Navy Midshipmen. And Houston, they host the Rice Owls. Coverage of those games begin at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Plus, don't forget about Tulane hosting Southern Miss at 7 o'clock Eastern. If you're an American Athletic Conference fan, you gotta have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. So Tanner Mordecai coming back on the field, down by 2 scores. Handoff is to Gardner. Slips through the hole. A gain of 3.
Yep, sticking with the running game, but I think Rhett Lashley's going to up the tempo a little bit here, down 2 scores, under 8 minutes left in the 4th.
Mordecai throwing one-on-one coverage. And there's Rashee Rice showing the strength. A late flag comes in. It didn't matter. That was on Hodges Tomlinson, a gain of 25.
He definitely got grabbed, and I was wondering if the flag was going to come out. It did late. He still caught the ball. I don't think Rashee Rice pushed off. That'd be the only reason to talk about it.
There's no foul on the play for face mask. It's first down.
No harm, no foul, because he still caught the ball. That's the one-on-one matchup all day long. If you're Tanner Mordecai, you see that, you throw it up to your receiver.
I mean, he had his entire arm before the ball got there.
Hodges Tomlinson had his right arm on him, never came off, so I thought the call was correct by the side judge, but they pick it up. He caught it anyway.
First catch of the half for Rice on the ground with Gardner. Bangs to the 45, again at 2.
And you got to keep mixing the running there. You got to keep that defense honest on the back end.
Gardner stays in the game at running back on 2nd and 8. Mordecai looking right side, completes it to Jake Bailey. And with Jordan Curley out with a shoulder injury this week, they're hoping to have him back for next week. Bailey has been a nice number 2 option.
He's been the one that stepped up, and we thought he might, and he's looked really good in this second half.
So 3rd and 2. And a penalty flag before the snap.
False start, number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the center, Branson Hickman.
And sometimes when you try to get that tempo going a little bit, a little twitch, but that one hurts, right? Because you had it to 3rd and 2. Now you're at 3rd and 7, but obviously 4 down territory. So Rhett Lashley has 2 downs here to keep this drive alive. There's no doubt about that.
Just the 2nd penalty of the day on SMU for a total of 10 yards. 3rd and 7. Here comes the pressure. Mordecai gets rid of it quickly. Completing. Down at the 30, a gain of 14 to Bo Corrales.
Yeah, there's a good crossing route. Bo Corrales on the outside with Jake Bailey crossed up. Little rub route, we call that. Got some separation from the defenders. Good throw by Mordecai.
Back to the ground game. Gardner has some daylight across the 10. Dragged down by Hodges Tomlinson. A gain of 22. And SMU looking to answer right back.
Yeah, and Velton Gardner is one of those running backs they really like. They want to get him going along with Trey Siggers.
Back to Gardner. Brought down inside the 5. We marked down at the 3.
And there is a couple penalty flags. TCU was running a defender off. He did not get off the field. So that's got to be what this is, illegal participation. 12 men for TCU. We'll see when we get the call here. And they'll give the explanation to Rhett Lashley, see what he wants to do, accept it. He probably will, because he'll get the down over.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the field, number 13 of the defense. The penalty tapped the distance to the goal, replay first down.
That was called on D. Winters. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and you see him running off. He clearly doesn't get off. So the side judge actually throws a flag showing that he didn't get off. The back judge threw his flag because he was counting the players. So get a free down here if you're SMU.
1st and goal from the 4. Gardner. Stopped by big number 52, Dominic Williams.
Yeah, and big Dominic Williams, we really haven't called his name out much. When he started in game 1 against Colorado, he was 17 years old. He's since turned 18, but he's a young guy that has a ton of talent. They love him in there at that nose guard position.
Dominic Williams is so good inside for TCU. 2nd and goal. Siggers will shift to the right of Mordecai. In motion is Rice. This is Siggers. And he got in for the touchdown. SMU answers right back with a ground game touchdown. An extra point away from a 7-point game.
And you love the answer. Good push up here by the offensive line. Again, you bring that jet motion where Rashee Rice kind of keeps the eyes looking lateral for the defense. And then Siggers goes in there. And Rhett Lashley's going to go for 2. That's the kind of coach he is. Very aggressive. And obviously these offensive coordinators, head coaches that call the plays have a play sheet of just 2-point plays. And obviously he likes something here.
review.
So they're going to look at the last play first to see if, in fact, SMU got in for the score.
Yeah, Big 12 crew Mark Martson, the replay official, has been real quiet tonight. I saw him at halftime. Been a clean half, but they're going to make him earn his paycheck a little bit here. Check the video. Get a good look at it here. Siggers fights for that goal line. Remember, it was called a touchdown on the field.
So we're going to step aside for the review. We'll have it after we come back. Now, SMU is going to go for two. Clearly, by this saying stands, it means they didn't have enough to overturn
Yeah, they
this.
didn't have to look. You need indisputable video evidence. But to me, it looked like, Siggers did get it across, so it stands.
Going for two. Do you like this here?
I do, because you do it early, because you know if you don't get it or get it dictates how you coach the last 5 minutes and 14 seconds of this game. So yes, correct call.
Mordecai pitches it. This is Upshaw, and he throws it incomplete. He had Ben Redding open. Correct play call, but they couldn't execute.
I mean, not only did he have him open, I thought he could have ran the ball. I mean, it was a perfect play call. He could have run it or thrown it. I think if you're Austin Upshaw, let's take a look. Right here, just get on your horse. Just go to that corner pylon. Now, he did have him open, but boy, that's the hard thing, right? When you're a wide receiver and you got to make a pass, and yeah, it's a lot easier in practice. Just puts it in the ground. But great play call. Just don't execute. But again, I mean, that's the former running back in me. You can run it. I say run it, right? I think he could have. And actually, at that point, you could have run it, and then at the last second, when you get down there to the 3-yard line, you could always pass it as well. But goes incomplete.
Tonight, our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One is the Big Ten battle at the Shoe in Columbus. C.J. Stroud and third-ranked Buckeyes host Wisconsin with both teams starting conference play. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit have the call at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app.
How about Ohio State averaging nearly 27 first downs a game? A game! Hello. See if that Wisconsin defense can slow them down a little bit.
So after the failed two-point conversion, the lead is 8. Short kick once again as TCU offense will come back on the field led by Max Duggan.
And if you're wondering why we've seen those kicks in the second half, it's because of number 11, Darius Davis, because he's so explosive. Almost brought a kickoff back, so Brett Lashley said, yeah, enough of that. We'll squib it.
5:13 to play. TCU with 2 timeouts. SMU has all 3 of their timeouts here in this fourth quarter.
This is when you're Garrett Riley, offensive coordinator, Sonny Dykes. You tell that offensive line, let's go out there, let's win at the line of scrimmage, let's control it. We have some good backs in Kendre Miller, over 100, DeMarcado. Let's put this game away. They call it a 4-minute offense. Well, for TCU, they want it to be a 5-minute, 13-second offense. Go down, get a last score, and put this game away.
We're looking to get that play off. But a penalty flag, delay of game on TCU.
And not the way you want to start your possession. And I tell you what, Max Duggan has had some issues with delay of game since that play clock has been burned out. So
Backs him up 5 yards, 1st and 15. On the ground with Miller. Breaks a shoestring tackle across the 30, brought down at the 34.
And that's how you erase that 5-yard penalty. You give it to your big back. Let him get a nice pickup on first time. But now you slow the tempo down, right, for Garrett Riley. Now, if there was a play clock, I would tell you to let it burn down to 3 seconds before you snap the ball. So what Max Duggan should do is keep his eye on that back judge. When that hand goes up, he knows he has to get ready to snap the ball. But the clock is on your side now if you're TCU. You just got to burn it and keep getting first downs.
After that gain of 11, it's 2nd and 4. Davis in motion. They give it to him. Trying to get to the outside. That was a pass. He is pushed out of bounds, a gain of 1.
And that's where you have to have situational awareness if you're Darius Davis. Great player, athletic. You're going to do that little jet pass. He needs to cut that up and stay in bounds. Now the clock's going to start again when it gets reset, but I think he could have put his foot in the ground, got upfield, and picked up the 3 yards for the first down. Good job by the SMU defense to string it out, force him to the outside where he couldn't turn the corner.
Big play in this game coming up. 3rd and 3. SMU trying to get off the field on defense. TCU trying to move the chains. Miller in the backfield. They give it to him straight ahead, and he does get the first down to the 40, a gain of 5.
Yeah, he's a workhorse. I love the call. You have both backs in the formation that time, Miller and DeMarcado. And then you just give it to your big back, Kendre Miller. He's actually hit by Shannon Reed before the first down yard to gain, and he just drives forward with that big body. And it's just physics coming downhill. He wasn't going to be stopped. Picked up the first down.
Kendre Miller today, 15 carries, 138 yards, averaging over 9 yards a carry to go with his touchdown. Clock continues to run. They go back to Miller, pushed immediately in the backfield and brought down by Jimmy Phillips.
Yeah, good penetration there by the defense. Haven't called out Jimmy Phillips' names much today. He's a leader, he's a captain of that team. Made a big play right there.
After a loss of 3 at 2nd and 13, clock winds down under 3 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. DeMarcado in the backfield. He gets the touch up the middle. Look at that huge hole open up, and he's gone. Amari DeMarcado, 63-yard touchdown run for TCU. Whoa! He says, goodbye, SMU fans. Warm up the buses.
And Kendre Miller, the workhorse, is on the bench. You bring in DeMarcado, and if you're SMU defensively, you sell out to try to make the play. DeMarcado breaks the tackle, makes the guy miss, and shows you his speed on the way to the end zone.
Man, that end zone is clearing out fast after that score. Extra point by Griffin Kell. Is up and good. TCU back on top by 2 scores with 2:31 to play.
Well, the local establishments better get ready because a lot of people just got up and walked out of this stadium. TCU leads it 42-27.
TCU with a 42-27 lead here with 2:31 to play. DeMarcado, 63-yard touchdown run. That was impressive.
How about this for TCU today? 60 plays run offensively, 21 of them, over a third of them, 10 or more yards. It's pretty explosive.
Short kick fielded at the 10, fair catch called for, so SMU will get it at their own 25.
They actually won't because the player that called the fair catch did not catch the ball, so it should be spotted at the 10, but we'll see what the referees do.
Let's take a look at our All-State mayhem moment, and it's got to be that last touchdown run.
Yeah, I mean, SMU selling out the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. DeMarcado, nice and fresh, right? Only a 6th carry of the day, breaks the tackle. And he's on his way. And so they do get it to 25 because both of them signal a fair catch. That's the tricky one. If one of the guys signals a fair catch and he doesn't catch it and the other guy doesn't, it'll be at the spot, but they both put their hands up, so it goes to the 25.
Rice in motion, handoff is to Siggers, and he hands it to Upshaw. Back to Mordecai. What is going on here? Incomplete pass at the end of it.
Well, the razzle-dazzle's good, right, when you have the time, but when you have a defender breathing down on you, like Mordecai did, I mean, that defensive line from TCU, they're just pinning their ears back, right? They're up by a couple scores. They're going to get after it because they know SMU needs to pass the ball here.
2nd and 10 from the 25. Mordecai with time underneath, dumps it off to Siggers. Good run after the catch. Be a few yards short of the first down after a gain of 7.
Yeah, and this Joe Gillespie defense, first-year defensive coordinator, ran this 3-3-5 at Tulsa. Really gave Sonny Dykes fits for years. That's why he hired him.
Mordecai way off with that pass. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah. So SMU here, 4th and 3. You gotta pick this up. You don't have to, push it downfield on this play. You gotta keep your drive alive here. Get your 3 yards and then get going.
So this is the ball game. 4th and 3. SMU has to convert. Mordecai rolling out, throwing, has his man Bailey for the first down. Gain of 7.
Yeah, good play call. And again, I think if you're an SMU fan, you're happy with the play of Jake Bailey. He stepped up nicely today as a number 2 wide receiver. I believe that's his 7th reception of the day. Been very consistent.
Mordecai with a little extra zip on that one, finds Bo Corrales over the middle, moving the chains again to the 45, again to 15.
Yeah, good chunk there, good catch. But again, if you're TCU, you'll give them the underneath. That's a little farther than underneath, but make sure you come up and make the tackle.
Mordecai, the out route, incomplete for his tight end, Maryland. With 3 timeouts here, clock stops on a first down. Can you still run the ball?
No, because you're down 2 scores. So, if it was a 1-score game and this is all you were worried about, then I would say, yeah, you could still run the ball, but you need to get the ball back. You got to score first and then get the ball back. So, running is going to be out the door here with 1:33 left in the 4th.
It's all up to Mordecai here. Dropping back, throw over the middle. And that is complete to Moochie Dixon. Made a good adjustment. Looked like the ball was thrown a little behind him.
Yeah.
Made the catch.
Made a nice catch. And the other thing you asked about those 3 timeouts, if you're at last year, you want to keep them, right? You don't want to use them right here. You got to try to score without using them.
Mordecai, wobbly pass, incomplete, intended for Redding. Broken up by McMillan.
And we had a great conversation with Rhett Lashley yesterday as well. And again, been coaching a long time, but first-year head coach. And he said, learning stuff, clock management, the whole thing. He gets better with reps as well as a head coach.
1:17 on the game clock. 2nd and 10. Mordecai, strong throw into that zone, almost picked off. Was looking for his man, but Mark Perry was the closest to it.
Yeah, and the safety was coming over. Looked like he could have intercepted the ball. Mark Perry misses it. If you're Tanner Mordecai, you got to force it down the field. You got to try to make a big play.
Got 2 downs to work with here on 3rd and 10. Mordecai has time. Finds it through the window. Nice move by Jake Bailey and gets in the end zone. A 35-yard touchdown pass. And SMU back within 1 possession.
So you get the score and you get it pretty quickly. You don't use any timeouts. Still got a minute left. Good ball by Tanner Mordecai. And again, Jake Bailey, we thought he was going to have a big game today. What I love there, he makes the catch and then the move after the catch to get into the end zone.
So they're going for 1 here. Colin Rogers with the big extra point coming up. And knocks it through.
So obviously you kick there because you've got to get it back to a 1-possession game. They get it back to 8. We'll see the onside kick here with 1:04 left.
Only 1:27 off the clock on that drive. 10 plays, 75 yards.
Yeah, they did a nice job pushing it downfield with some good passes. And so, if you're TCU, yeah, you'll give them the underneath stuff. They didn't really go underneath. They drove the ball down the field. Good job by Tanner Mordecai, Jake Bailey there. And again, you did what you had to do, right? Step one, get a touchdown, get it back to within one possession, and now with 1:04 left, we're going to see an onside kick here.
And to your point, SMU still has all 3 timeouts remaining here.
Because how many times do we see, teams are battling back like this and they end up burning 1 or 2? You want those timeouts left. Now, if there was a little more time left, it would pay even bigger dividends because you could kick this thing off and just go play defense. I think with 1:04 left, I think they're definitely going to onside kick it here. And so does TCU as they have their hands team out there.
So the punter, Ryan Buchevsky, is on. Drop kicks it, fielded cleanly, and TCU will fall on it. That's Blake Noel. And TCU gets the ball back.
Hey, you don't often see the drop kick for the onside kick, but it was done, and it was actually beautiful. But he wanted that one last high hop to get it over the TCU player. Doesn't get it. Nice job by the hands team there to make that catch of the onside, and
TCU are up by 8 here, trying to run out the clock. Next week, the big one is looming. Oklahoma comes to town on October the 1st.
Yeah, and that was the one people were worried about, even though this is a rivalry game, that they would, overlook SMU, which is hard to think because SMU's won the last 2, right?
TCU starts on the ground with Miller. Stopped for a gain of 1.
I'm actually shocked that the line judge actually blew that play dead because Kendra Miller was not down. SMU was yelling timeout on the sideline. He just gives it to him. Kendra Miller was not down on that play. I didn't think so. That was strange to me. I did not think he was down. His legs were churning. He was running. The line judge blew the whistle. Let's watch Kendra Miller, 33 here. He's going to get hit. Okay, he's bouncing. He's still up. He's bouncing. He's bouncing. But he was never down. That was an inadvertent whistle. They should not have blown that play dead.
You saw Sonny Dykes throw his hands up trying to get an explanation.
Huge break. Huge break for SMU right there. So what happens is the line judge is standing there. SMU, rightfully so, is yelling, timeout, timeout, timeout. He's looking, he thinks he's tied up, he blows his whistle. Should not have done that because Kendra Miller wasn't even close to being down. And he can say his forward progress stop. It wasn't, in my estimation. We'll get another look at it here. Bounces it here, bounces it here. He's still moving, he's still pushing. Yeah, that's a huge break for SMU, huge.
So SMU gets the break. They call the timeout. 58 seconds to play. Brings up 2nd and 9. Miller. This time they do bring him down. At the 41, a gain of 3. Terrence Newman on the stop for SMU.
But what's going to happen now is they're going to run the ball again. You make the tackle, you got another timeout. You're going to force them to punt.
So SMU does use their 2nd timeout, stops the clock at 52 seconds. Sonny Dykes, he has won the last 2 battle for the Iron Skillet. He could win the last 3 if he wins today for TCU.
He's looking for the hat trick, and obviously 2 with one school and 1 with the other.
That Iron Skillet that not many people really know where it originated from. I asked so many people this week, where'd that come from? Everyone just kind of looked at me.
No one really knows. But we know it's here. It's in SMU's hands, and TCU's trying to bring it back to Fort Worth.
3rd and 6. Ball is on the ground. Max Duggan falls on it. It was a pass, so incomplete, which means the clock stops. SMU does not have to burn their final timeout.
Yeah, it was definitely a flip forward and got dropped. That's why you flip that pass forward. So if it does get dropped, it's incomplete and not a fumble. But really, after the first down play, where they were a little discombobulated because they were upset that the play was blown dead, which it shouldn't have been, good job by SMU defense to step up.
All the fans who left the stadium, they might be looking at this game somewhere and realize, oh wait a minute, this game's not over yet.
They're sitting at a local establishment right now looking at the TV saying, why did we leave?
4th and 6. SMU has 1 timeout left, down by 8. TCU will bring on the punt team. Sandy is up, ready to punt this one away. High end over end kick. Ball checks up.
You're going to get a personal foul on SMU here for leaping. This is a rule called leaping. You cannot jump over the personal protector. It's a 15-yard penalty on SMU. Let's see. That's what the center judge called. I was watching it and I saw him throw the flag.
15-yard penalty, but automatic.
And that's going to end the game.
And that's the game.
And it's the correct call. I was watching it from the booth. And special teams coaches need to explain to their players, you cannot leap over the body of a personal protector. Watch, right in the middle here, right by the 48-yard line, you're going to see a SMU player leap over right there. You can't do it. It's a 15-yard penalty.
What a way for this game to end.
Kind of poetic justice, though, because they blew that play down on first down.
Correct.
They probably shouldn't have.
So with 1 timeout remaining for SMU, this thing is all but over.
Yeah.
So TCU will take a knee. SMU will burn their final timeout and will stop the clock for the last time with 36 seconds.
And you hear some boo bucks because who's left? TCU fans. They're mad at Rhett Lashley called that timeout.
The crowd today, official attendance, 35,569. That is the largest ever regular season crowd here at Ford Stadium. The student attendance, they also set a record, 4,590. Huge turnout for this rivalry game, the return of Sonny Dykes. And it's going to go the way of TCU. They came out fast, up 14-0, and never looked back.
You know, and SMU did a lot of nice things today, but things that they need to clean up that Rhett Lashley will work on. And if you're TCU and Sonny Dykes, you come back, you win the Iron Skillet, you go to 3-0, and now you host a very, very good Oklahoma team next week.
Final seconds will wind down here for Sonny Dykes. He has now won the last 3 battle for the Iron Skillet. The last 2 when he was at SMU, and this most recent one here with TCU. And for the first time since 2017, the Horned Frogs start the season at 3-0.
Did a nice job running the ball, controlling the ground. And listen, Max Duggan, excellent job as well, spreading it around to his receivers, and it's a good win for TCU, one that they haven't won in a few years.
It was an incredible atmosphere here in Dallas for this 101st meeting in this rivalry game. Our final score here from Gerald J. Ford Stadium, TCU 42, SMU 34. Coming up next, College Football 150, the greatest, presented by Xfinity. It was a pleasure to bring you this one. For my partner, Rini Angolia, our entire ESPN production crew on hand here in Dallas, I'm John Schriffen. Thanks for joining us. TCU wins it 42-34.
Since there are 11 of us,